Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports here on 710, seattlesports.com. Seattle Sports app, podcast platforms, 97.3 HD number 2, and YouTube. All places you can find us, find the show, find the station, listen, watch all of it. There we go. Yes, good to have you guys with us today. Hopefully everybody's feeling a little better after a weekend. Well, it's not quite a sweep yet. You got to finish it off today since it's a 4-game series, but obviously the Mariners playing some much better baseball this weekend. They win all 3 games. The Masters was yesterday. The weather was mostly pretty nice, at least during the day yesterday. So, yeah, like there was a lot to enjoy, a lot to like over this weekend, and hopefully everybody will be in a good mood. I'm sure when I turn to the text machine, that's what I'll find, right? I'm sure all of our late night, overnight, over the weekend texts are full of love and happiness and togetherness and excitement. Well, there's some of it, but not actually all that much. I don't want to go too deep into the text toy this morning, although there is some fun stuff. One that says, excuse me, this team does not suck out loud anymore. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. No, that's good. Thank you. I know this might sound crazy, but the Mariners have gotten 3 home runs for 7 RBIs out of Arozarena, Raleigh, and Rodriguez in the last 2 games. And wonder of wonders, they won both games. Weird how that happens. Yeah, it does seem to help when your best players actually hit like your best players. Salk, you probably won't see this since it's buried on Friday night. However, if people still don't understand the Larry Salk rule, see Game 14, which was Friday night. Yeah, that was where Munoz almost let him back in, right? Was that Friday? Yeah, that was a little dicey. That was a game. Was that Friday or Saturday where he ended up getting Jordan to pop up? But yeah, it must have been Friday. He got Jordan to pop up on 2-0 count. I was like, "Ooh, that was real dicey." But it works, right? Because that's baseball, and sometimes in those moments, the other guy helps you out, and even when he's Jordan Alvarez, he'll get himself out, which is pretty awesome. I was a little surprised to see where's the Mike Salk panic meter this morning. Is it still at a 10 like last week, or are you and the fickle fans back on the bandwagon? Well, I don't know if I was ever off the bandwagon. I don't know if I was being fickle, just calling it like you see it. And what the team was doing last week wasn't great. I think we were all pretty sure that it was still very early and that, the actual big bats in the lineup hadn't done anything yet. I don't think any of us were expecting that to last throughout the year. So here we are. The Mariners win 3 in a row. They beat up on a Houston pitching staff that, can you imagine watching that pitching staff all year? Can you imagine? They're horrendous. And it's not just that they're bad, because I've seen bad pitching staffs. And you can make an argument that a team with bad pitching, good hitting is more fun to watch than a team with good pitching, bad hitting. Does that make sense? That it's better to watch a 10-8 game than it is to watch a lot of 1-0 games. You can make that argument. And you might even be right. I mean, like a lot of offense in the game is certainly fun to watch. But when you walk 26 batters in 3 games, that's not fun. That ceases to become entertaining. That's just embarrassing. At the major league level, you're walking almost 9 guys a game? Like, well, do I have that number right? That's staggering. And it felt that way watching the Mariners just walk around the bases. Good for them. You guys know how I feel about walks offensively. You got to take your walks. It's what accounts and essentially balances out all of the strikeouts. You got to walk. You got to take your walks when they're available to you. But they're not supposed to be available 26 times over the course of 3 days. And by the way, they could have walked more yesterday. Seriously. They could have walked more. They got themselves out in a bunch of at-bats yesterday where it was like 2-0, 3-1. You're like, just stand there. This guy can't hit the broadside of a barn, let alone the strike zone. Just hang out. Put a tackling dummy out there and just let it pretend to hold a bat. I thought Randy was going to do his thing where he just walks out of the box during each pitch. The Astros should be embarrassed. Absolutely atrocious pitching.
Well, this isn't going to be their rotation all year.
I know, but what they were throwing out there was not major league quality.
Sure.
That was horrendous.
Now, when they get Hunter Brown, Ronald Blanco, and Javier back, that's a little different.
It is absolutely different, but my God, was that tough to watch from their standpoint. Mariners' standpoint is great. You just keep walking around the bases. Yeah, whatever. Just keep on letting them walk. Just hang out here. And then occasionally, Luke Raley double or a Julio home run or whatever it is. Rosarena had both over the course of the weekend. Or maybe it's a Dom Canzone double into the gap and JP walk off. I mean, they just kind of did it all. That was good. Really, really good to see them find their way to just looking like the offense they were supposed to be. And I think probably, now that doesn't mean they're going to score. What did they have? How many runs they score? 23 runs this weekend. So I don't know if they're going to score 7+, almost 8 runs a game. That's probably not likely. But I think that what we saw this weekend is probably closer to what we expect to see over the course of the year than what we saw for the first 2 weeks. That was obviously not great. So, yeah, I think every Mariner fan today should feel good. You're still going to have to do it against better pitching than what you saw this weekend. It's not like this completely overrides or wipes out some of the challenges of the first couple weeks. I think we all still have some questions about which team is going to show up. But as Cal rounds into form, as Julio starts hitting, and I'll say it again, there's nothing more fun than when Julio starts hitting. There's like all these guys on the team that are great and they can score a lot of runs. But when it's Julio in the middle of it all, it just makes it more fun, more satisfying, at least to me. Another text over the weekend. Salk, you think Riz going to have a hard time with the Colt Emerson Hancock thing? Yes, I do, because I do. It says, imagine Forsland calling hockey games 10 times as fast with a Kako and a Coco. Yeah, that was a lot. K-A-K-K-O, Capo Kako. And then you brought up this Coco kid this weekend, K-O-K-K-O. Very similar. By the way, he's also got a McMahon and a McCann. Forsland's a god. What he's able to do is just tremendous. And thank you to the Kraken for finding their way to winning a couple of totally meaningless games here at the end of the year, just to ensure they'll have worse odds in the lottery at the end. Want to make sure at all costs you don't get that number one pick. That might actually change your long-term fortunes. Much better to find a way to win a couple of meaningless games here in April than to actually try to, get the number one overall pick in Gavin McKenna. Wouldn't want that.
Some sarcasm.
Well, it's just reminiscent of the Yuneski Betancourt weekend where he had 9 hits against the Orioles, and the Mariners end up missing out on Steven Strasburg and getting Dustin Ackley instead. Yeah, good idea sweeping the A's when you've already lost 100 games. Great idea at the end of the year. You certainly don't want the best pitching prospect maybe ever. Yeah, there were hit by pitches too. Yeah, Mariners are just great this weekend. Just really, really great. I know 570 says they're still leaving too many men on base. Whatever, man. They scored almost 8 runs a game in 3 games. Don't complain. Don't complain. Baseball teams aren't perfect. Even great offenses, even great pitching side. That's just not the way baseball is. It's never perfection. And I wonder if that's some of the challenges we have. We sort of try to hold them up to like a level of perfection that you're just not going to find in baseball. You're just not going to find it. But you score nearly 8 runs a game. You walk nearly 9 times a game. You pitch pretty well other than Luis. Everybody else pitched pretty well this weekend. You do all of that, you're going to win a lot more games than you're going to lose. And the Mariners fans will end up being very happy. So, all right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back here. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. Yesterday was such a great sport. Honestly, it was a great sports weekend. Watching Mariners, watching Kraken, watching the Masters. I had a blast. And we'll kind of run through a whole bunch of it next on Brock and Salk.
Four Down Territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top 4 football questions of the day.
Who would you entertain if you can get him for cheap as the Seahawk?
So this dude's been in the league 15 years. He's a big personality. I take a look at Cam Jordan. He had 10.5 sacks last year. If he's still around after this draft is over with, go ahead and take a look at Cam, especially if you're not sure about what's going to happen at your end spots.
Catch every Four Down Territory on the Seattle Sports app.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Smalls here. Look, I get it. GLP-1 weight loss shots are popular. They're everywhere. But not everyone is thrilled about weekly injections. So what if your GLP-1 was as easy to take as a mint? That's why I want you to know about compounded tirzepatide. It's a mint-flavored tablet you simply let dissolve under your tongue. No needles. It's designed to help curb appetite and reduce cravings, even sweets and carbs, which are my personal enemies. And when hunger's under control, it's easier to eat less. Stay away from the junk foods that trip you up and tackle your weight loss goals head on. And this is important. The compounded tirzepatide is recommended by the medical board of the wellness companies, the doctors I trust. Look, if you're serious about getting your weight under control and weekly shots aren't your thing, I strongly encourage you to look into tirzepatide. Getting started is fast with an easy online physician consultation. Imagine discovering a no-needle option that fits your needs. Go to noneedles.com/smalls. Promo code SMALLS to save $50. That's noneedles.com/smalls. Promo code SMALLS to save $50.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When you head to your local Toyota dealer to purchase a new car, ask them this question. Do you offer a lifetime powertrain warranty? If the answer is no, then visit Toyota of Kirkland if you're in the north or Toyota of Renton if you're in the south. Both stores protect your vehicles for life with powertrain warranties on all Toyota models outside of the BZ. Not all Toyota dealers are built the same. Head to toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com and receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on your next Toyota.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, heading into the weekend, the Mariners had not hit and the Astros had not pitched particularly well. Turns out, at least for now, Houston's problem's a whole lot worse. They were the perfect salve for the Mariners offense this week as Mariners scored 23 runs in 3 games, took all 3 games. Houston starters went a total in all 3 games of 5 2/3 innings. Yikes. That is horrific. The longest of them was Lance McCullers, who lasted 4 1/3. That was not particularly impressive, but it was the most impressive thing their starters did. As a team, they gave up 26 walks in 3 games, nearly 9 walks per game. I can't even fathom that number. I would love to play you highlights from the weekend, but I think it would be unfair to just play highlights of people walking. So thankfully, there were at least a couple of hits thrown in.
Here's the set by Weiss and the 3-1 to Randy. Swinging a drive deep to left field. Alvarez just turns around and watches. This one is way out of here. Goodbye, baseball. Randy Arozarena way out to left field. A 2-run moonshot, his first home run of the season. And now the Mariners lead the Astros by a score of 5-3 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Randy had an RBI in the first. He was hit by a pitch. Now he drives in 2 with a big swing right here.
That one ended up being a laugher. Saturday, they got themselves way down and then came all the way back.
And again, the 1-2 on the way to Julio. Swinging a fly ball deep to center field. Trammell going back to the warning track, to the wall, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. To the base of the batter's eye, straight away center field. Julio pumping his fist high in the air as he rounds second. His first home run of the 2026 season. Holy smokes, has tied the game at 7-7 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. What a comeback by the comeback kids.
Well, that one ended a few minutes later in a J.P. Crawford walk-off. Maybe not a few minutes later, a while later, but I'll let Mora handle some of that fun as we go around the weekend. I'll just say this. That's 3 clutch hits already for Julio this year, right? 3 absolutely stand-up clutch hits, tremendous hitting from Julio Rodriguez already this year. And he's not even hot yet. He's just starting to get hot. He's already got 3 clutch hits. That was a cool moment. The JP walk-off was great. By the way, I think if he hadn't walked it off, he could have just stood there and they would have walked him, because that's kind of what the Astros were doing. It was just hideous. Hideous pitching. And great to see the Mariners take advantage. We got one more to play this afternoon. It'll be George Kirby against Mike Burrows in this strange 4-game wrap-around the weekend series. It ends up with a day game on a Monday, not something you see all the time, but overall a great weekend for the M's.
Yeah, I mean, that is what we do. You know, that's, you know, it is good to see that tonight. And you know, I think it's been a few games where we haven't seen that, and so tonight to get our walks, to get some free bases here and there, to take advantage of those free bases. Canzone with the big double, Randy with the homer. I mean, when you look at those things all add up to a lot of positives on the offensive side, and again, something that we definitely we can build on.
Well, they did. That was a quote from Friday. It really could have been a quote from Saturday or Sunday. I mean, they kind of did the same thing in each of those games. By the way, just last note on the Mariners, things going pretty well for the two big stud prospect pitchers. Cade Anderson went 5 hitless innings in his start this weekend. Ryan Sloan struck out 4 in 4 innings, allowing just a run. So both guys looking pretty good.
Oh no, you're leaving out one big thing with Cade. He punched 11 guys out.
That's true. I should mention the 11 strikeouts. Sorry. Yes, that's 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. No hits. That's pretty good. Thank you, Lyle.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, make it 2 in a row for Rory McIlroy.
And here we go. His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Yeah, pretty cool yesterday. Blew a 6-stroke lead on Saturday. Fell behind yesterday, but then came roaring back to finish. It was only a 71. The score really wasn't all that impressive yesterday, but some of the par saves really were. The incredible saves on both 16 and 17. Just really unbelievable shot making from around the green, and it was deserved. A couple other guys were there in it, but they all faltered in some way, right? Scotty put himself too far behind. Justin Rose completely imploded in the back nine yesterday, which was too bad. It was nice to see Russell Henley in there, and obviously Cameron Young was there, but Rory was the most consistent over the course of 4 days, and he gave himself a huge lead with what he did on Thursday and Friday. Those matter, those rounds matter. And then afterwards, for the second straight year, he got emotional thinking and talking about his parents.
My mom and dad, they weren't here last year to celebrate with us, and surprisingly, I had to convince them to come this year because they thought that the reason that I won was because they weren't here. So I'm glad that we proved that wrong. But Mom and Dad, I owe everything to you. You are you're the most wonderful parents. And if I can be half the parent to Poppy as you were to me, then I know I've done a good job.
Nah, it's pretty sweet. I find Rory pretty easy to root for. He's not like my number one guy, but he's so easy to root for, and it was cool to see him finish the job yesterday. Sounds like Mike McDonald was among the patrons this weekend, so we got some sound. I'll run through it a little bit later, but they were critiquing his golf swing, and he was talking about running into a whole bunch of Seahawks fans while he was there. So pretty good to be Mike McDonald right now.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
And I guess kudos to the Kraken, kind of. They waited until they were eliminated to play two of their better, more inspired games of the season. That included a dominant win over Calgary, Saturday. Gaudreau, Stevenson, Eberle, here was Beniers.
8 seconds left. Riker Evans, Matty Beniers with a shot. He scores! Hey! What do you say? What a snipe!
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's good to see them battle. I don't know whether, it's more valuable or not than losing and maybe trying to help your draft lottery status, especially if there's the possibility you could end up with the number one pick. They play their final home game tonight against the Kings, and then they head out on the road for their final two games, Vegas and Colorado, to close out a disappointing season. That is everything you need to know. And we do that quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. 206 says, I'm surprised you're not spending more time talking about Saturday's comeback. That game was the turning point. Sunday, they just faced a starter who didn't have it in a weak bullpen, but Saturday was a comeback character builder. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, it was a great game, and we will talk about it, and I'll talk through kind of who had the best weekends. I don't know that they'll see it that way. Like, maybe they will. I thought Friday was what they really needed to just get themselves going. Just, score, 9 runs on Friday and just sort of get themselves into that groove. Yeah, and then it continued Saturday. They waited a while before they got it going, and unfortunately, Luis didn't have it, and it took them a little bit to get to McCullers. The comeback was awesome. I'm not trying to downplay it. I just don't know whether they needed a turning point moment like that, a galvanizing moment, especially, and we'll play you the sound of Julio and others saying, look, we're not worried at all. We feel just fine. I think they needed Friday. I think they needed to remind themselves what it was to go out and hit. Saturday certainly didn't hurt. I mean, it's great to come from behind and remember that you've got that resilience in you. But yeah, they're both great games. I don't know. No reason to focus on one over the other. They were both awesome. And then yesterday, you did what you're supposed to do against a team that doesn't have it. Good on them. Now finish the job today, take all four, and be off and running. We'll be right back with anything you might have missed this weekend next on Brock and Salk.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long, I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money. But it wasn't the case. And we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Immaculate greens, unrivaled natural beauty, championship caliber conditions. Loomis Trail is the epitome of Northwest golf. With water in play on nearly every hole and tree-lined fairways, Loomis Trail provides a fantastic golf experience for those that want a challenge and those looking for a fun getaway. What round are you up for? Tee times available online at golfloomis.com. Start planning your perfect golf getaway today.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Harry Douglas here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in. Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cakeify my day with tasty caffeine boosts. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
The baddest bulls on the planet are taking over the Tacoma Dome as the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour returns to the Pacific Northwest April 24th and 25th. Experience 90-point rides and the toughest cowboys in the world going head-to-head with 2,000 pounds of pure muscle. It's man versus beast in the ultimate showdown at Cooper Tire's PBR Tacoma. Don't pay full price for the thrill. Stop by any participating Fred Meyer for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Talk about it in more detail later, but I've been right about a few things in my life, Maura. I've been wrong about probably a whole lot more. But in 17 years of doing this job, there is not a doubt in my mind that the most right I've been about anything is that the Mariners should wear those steelhead uniforms more often. It is by far the best take I've ever given, the most accurate thing I've ever said. And ultimately, one day, I hope they wear them all the time at home in white. And I hope they build a black version and a gray version to wear on the road. It would be the best. I love them. They look so good. They make watching them look better. I love the graphic package they put on TV yesterday. I love Logan with the high socks and everyone else who pulled that look off. Every single thing about them is sweet. And I hope they use them more, and let's go around the weekend.
I love them too, but I hate that they replaced the Sunday cream uniforms because I liked those as well.
Those are good. These are better. And what you need to do now is replace the teal, repeal the teal, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, well, we will start with digging in a little further into the Mariners weekend, even though you kind of gave us the rundown a little bit of need to know. Friday, things started off pretty rough for Astros starter Tatsuya Imai. 3 walks, a single, and a hit by pitch in the first inning gave the Mariners a 3-0 lead. Unfortunately, Emerson Hancock got into some trouble in the next inning as well. He loaded the bases before recording 2 outs, but a Vasquez double cleared the bases to tie the game before he was able to record the final out of the inning. Those were the only runs that he gave up through 5 innings of work, though, and he had 5 strikeouts on the day. The game stayed tied at 3-3 until the 5th inning when Randy Arozarena hit his first homer of the season.
Here's the set by Weiss, and the 3-1 to Randy. Swinging a drive deep to left field. Alvarez just turns around and watches. This one is way out of here. Goodbye, baseball. Randy Arozarena way out to left field. A 2-run moonshot, his first home run of the season. And now the Mariners lead the Astros by a score of 5-3 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Randy had an RBI in the first. He was hit by a pitch. Now he drives in 2 with a big swing right here.
I'll tell you this, Randy's not going to hit 40 or 50 home runs in a season, but when he hits them, he destroys them.
True.
I mean, when he hits them, they are walloped. And Friday was definitely the case. For sure. That is a crush job.
It's interesting that he's been one of the few Mariners that did get off to a hot start at the plate, and he was in the WBC too, because a lot of people have been questioning whether that was the issue.
Lyle, what'd you think of your guy Emerson Hancock this weekend?
Still pretty good. I mean, he got 12 swings and misses. He punched out almost half a dozen, and that's not even really a favorable matchup for him because the Astros crush two-seamers, and Emerson Hancock's best pitch these days is his two-seamer. All of Alvarez and Correa and Walker crush two-seam fastballs, which is, I think, why his two-seamer usage was way down. And all that being said, he still looked pretty sharp outside of one inning.
I think Emerson Hancock is this year's Brian Wu for Lyle. He was all in on Brian Wu last year. I think Emerson
He
Hancock's
just
your guy
especially
this year.
loves Emerson Hancock. He's such a great dude. He's been nice to the Marine layer.
I mean, I've been in on Brian Wu since he was a minor leaguer, to be fair.
Oh, wow.
I know, but last year you were really like, this is my guy this year.
You pushed it.
I feel like Hancock might be your guy this year.
I did push it.
You were right.
But again, all the underlying stuff you'd want to see with Emerson was still there.
Yeah.
And if that's his off start, then I'd love to see what his on starts keep looking like.
Well, so that's 3, right?
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
But 3 starts.
Yeah.
That's 3 starts. Said we wanted to see it for 5, right?
Yeah.
All right. 2 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm withholding full judgment till we see 5 starts. But if we see 5 starts and they resemble the first 3, we got a real conversation on our hands. There's no doubt. No doubt.
All right, some sloppy pitching from Houston.
No.
And an RBI double.
You
from,
don't say.
Yes, a little bit of that. An RBI double from Dom Canzone and an RBI single from J.P. Crawford led to a 4-run 7th inning, giving the Mariners a 9-3 lead. Yordan Alvarez did Yordan Alvarez things and hit a 3-run home run in the 8th to cut the Mariners' lead in half. And then things got a little shaky, as Salk mentioned earlier, when Andres Munoz gave up some walks in the 9th. But he did get Pena to ground into a fielder's choice to help seal the 9-6 win and break the Mariners' 5-game losing streak. Continue the Astros streak. I think they're at 7 now.
Mm-hmm.
We played that sound on Friday of Ryan Rowland-Smith saying that someone needed to manufacture some energy on this team. And listening to people after the game, Emerson Hancock, Dan Wilson, it sounded like a lot of people thought Randy did that for them on Friday. Here's Emerson Hancock.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, just that homer, I think, the energy that it brought, I just think, the crowd was in it. I thought the crowd was really, really good. I thought it was awesome. Just from the first pitch in the first inning, they were on it, and then just be able to have a homer to kind of, give us some momentum going, and we just kind of kept rolling with it.
I will say, over the last couple of years, has there ever been a team in sports that mentions their fans more than the Mariners players do? It really is remarkable how meaningful
I think Mike
it seems
McDonald's
to be.
trying to rival them for the Seahawks.
Fair, and Pete did some of that too. But man, I just
they
am
really do.
Constantly blown away by how much the Mariners players recognize it, how meaningful it is to them, and how they talk about it. And good on
It feels
Mariners
genuine.
fans. It does. Good on Mariners fans for bringing that kind of energy on Friday, right? Team had just been swept in Texas, hadn't played good ball, and showing up and showing out for them, that's a big thing, and it goes a long way, I'm sure.
That's a good point. All right, Saturday, J.P. Crawford walked and Cal Raleigh homered on the first pitch he saw to give the Mariners a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Luis Castillo loaded up the bases
By
in
the
the
way, J.P. Crawford walked was a statement you could have made 7 times
I mean,
this
he's always
weekend.
had a good eye, and then you throw in the pitching that they had.
He had 7 walks in 3 games. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Luis Castillo loaded up the bases in the second, and our old friend Taylor Chamel drove everyone in with a double to left to give Houston a 3-2 lead. In the third, Yordan Alvarez struck again with a solo shot, and Cam Smith had a 2 RBI single to extend the Astros lead to 6-2. They tacked on one more run in the fourth, so things were not looking great heading into the 5th inning, but a Crawford 2 RBI single, a Cal Raleigh sac fly, and this Julio home run gave the Mariners a 7-5 lead.
The stretch of the 2-2 pitch, swinging a fly ball into shallow left field on a broken bat. Right there, Loperfido tagging at third, heading home is Rivas. The throw to the plate is going to be cut off by Correa. Cal Raleigh with a sacrifice fly, and it's now the Astros 7 and the Mariners 5.
It was just really good to see Julio Like you said, there's some struggles with the Astros pitching, but it's good to see Julio feeling like he's in a bit of a groove now. Because that's what we saw all through spring training. And then he was just having some of those swinging out of his shoes moments once the season started.
Yeah, look, Julio's their most fun player. I don't know how else to say it. He's their most complete fun player because he does it in the batter's box, on the base paths in center field. He's athletic. He's a physical freak in so many ways. And the smile, just all of it. When Julio's got that energy and he's in a groove and he's on a roll, yeah. He tied that game up a few minutes later and ended up, with his third huge clutch at bat of the year.
Yeah, sorry, I played the wrong card.
That's okay. I mean, Julio getting it done is awesome. It makes it more fun to be a Mariner fan and to watch the games. I feel pretty strongly about that.
For sure. Edward Bizzardo allowed runners to reach first and third with no outs in the 7th, but then got a pop-up and 2 strikeouts to get out of that jam, and he was pumped about it. I don't know if you guys saw that. I feel like we don't normally see him that animated. It was fun.
Yes. I'm going to talk a little bit more about him. He was
because
nasty.
There was the challenge, too. You're gonna get into that a little bit later.
But he was nasty. I thought well, you talk about two-seamers. Maybe the Astros are good at hitting two-seamers, but not his. His two-seamer, the way it comes back, front hip, to lefties, nasty. Really nasty. He was really good this weekend, or at least there in that moment.
Sorry, I thought Lyle.
No, I mean, he looked great. I think he covered it.
It was still tied 7-7 in the 9th, or 7-7 in the 9th when Astros reliever Brian Abreu loaded the bases with 1 out. J.P. Crawford came to the plate. And
how did he load the bases? Just out of curiosity.
Lots of walks.
Oh, he walked the bases loaded.
I don't know what's going on with him because he's one of the best in the game and he's off to a
Well, that's
start.
why I'm not entirely yes, they had a lot of nobody pitchers who walked people, but Brian Abreu walked the bases loaded in the 9th. I mean, what are you doing, man?
Should this be our song for the day?
Yes. Or maybe Pantera's Walk. We could go through a lot of walks. The Walk of Life, Dire Straits.
I mean,
There's
you
a
guys
lot.
already did. That's where I found this song.
We did a whole
was
thing
when
of
you
walks.
ranked walks.
Oh. My bad.
Anyways, J.P. Crawford came to the plate and walked it off with this single.
The stretch by Abreu, the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, left field base hit. Here comes Young on to score. J.P. Crawford with a walk-off single here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Mariners come from behind, down 7-2 to win it 8-7. J.P. is getting mobbed at first base. What a comeback by the Mariners tonight. They win it 8-7 on a walk-off single by J.P. Crawford. A line drive into left field. Cole Young scores. And what a celebration tonight by the Mariners. And a sellout crowd just about here at T-Mobile Park.
And Lyle sent us some numbers. J.P. Crawford is very good in those situations.
JP is one of the best hitters of all time with the bases loaded. One of the best hitters of all time with the bases loaded.
Wow.
Something changes in JP when he gets the bases loaded where he becomes one of the best hitters of all time. It's amazing. And we've seen it. We've seen the grand slams. We've seen the walk-offs. We've seen big something changes in his DNA when he gets the bases loaded. And I will say, JP's always been a pretty clutch player. He always has. I don't know that I have the numbers to back that up, but I always feel good about a J.P. Crawford at bat late in the game in a big spot. He's not going to give it away. Doesn't mean it's going to work out every time. J.P. will have his rollovers to first and second, like most left-handed hitters do. But he does have an ability to just focus and give you a really good, high-quality at bat in a big moment, and he'll come through a whole lot more often than normal. It's great.
All right, yesterday, Logan Gilbert was awesome, going 7 innings, giving up just 1 run and 1 walk while striking out 7. The Astros pitching woes continued as starter Cody Bolton exited in the 2nd due to back tightness after walking the first 3 batters. Houston had 5 pitchers give up 6 runs and 9 walks on the day.
Just for you, Bob. I know you love Pantera. Big Pantera fan. There we go. Respect. And walk. Yep. What do you say? Yep, you go through that again if you need to.
Lyle, have you ever heard of Pantera?
I'll let you guys take a guess.
Do you know this one, Lyle?
This one, here we go.
Okay. This one's better.
Yes.
This is for poor Offset.
Yeah, but I think he's okay.
He's still in the hospital, isn't he?
I mean, yes.
I mean, it's just a shout out for him. I played this song for Cecily last weekend. She thought it was awesome. How do you not like this song?
I don't know.
There's nothing not to like about this song.
Have you ever seen the what is it, James Corden? Is that the late night host?
Yeah, or he was, I think.
The car karaoke he did with Migos is like one of my favorite things.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they did
They're
Sweet
so
Caroline.
funny.
That's funny.
And they just had stacks of money. They were like dancing around with them. They took him shopping.
I'll have to watch
and
that.
bought him like just clothes that did not fit, like that were more their style than
Than his?
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I recommend it. But yeah, they got down to Whitney Houston in that too.
Ooh.
Sweet Caroline and Whitney Houston in the car karaoke.
Nice. Go Migos.
I want to dance with somebody. And then it turns out, I think Offset was actually, as a kid, in the Whitney Houston music video.
Really?
Yeah. I believe that's what
There
I
we
saw
go.
after that. The more you know. All right, we'll get back to baseball. Randy Arozarena and, I'm sorry, we didn't get to the fun defensive play early
pick?
on when Josh Naylor kind of faked Altuve out, and then he got picked off at first. I know you're going to play some sound from Logan Gilbert on that later. That's a little bit fun, but it was just cool to see the level of communication on that.
Yeah, I know that afterwards you sent this over, Lyle, that he'd said it wasn't on purpose, but I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I don't believe Josh Naylor, and even if it wasn't on purpose, his head is in the game. It's a great play, and just seeing how fired up Logan was afterwards, he thought it was his first ever. It may end up actually being his first at first. I think he may have had a pickoff at second or third or something, but pretty awesome. Great moment, and it was really like the end of the Astros for the day. It was like, instead of Altuve being on third, right, because they sent him back after catcher or umpire interference, instead he's on first and then picked off, and you could just feel the Astros be like, oh boy, like they just Charlie Browned it after that. Like, we're done. We got nothing against Logan Gilbert. We're gonna walk 10 guys. Like, we're done.
Also,
and I wonder if they feel that same way today. Like, they just seem like a miserable team right now.
Yeah.
Everybody not named Jordan.
Right. Well, he seems just fine. And Cam Smith, he's pretty good too. I mean, they can hit, but you just felt like they had that like, we're done,
Also,
and they were.
The video going around before Altuve gets picked off, I think it's from like maybe closer to along the third baseline. And because Logan Gilbert's so tall and the angle, and then you have Naylor kind of further off in the distance and Altuve's in the middle, he looks even small. It looks like a funny mirror and a
caricature.
Yeah, there's something about it that exaggerates how much smaller Altuve is than them even more.
More, we're being told that Offset made it to Coachella this weekend, so I guess he's okay.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Must have just gotten graced.
Well, way to go, Offset.
We're happy to hear it. All right, Randy Arozarena and Luke Raley each had 3 hits. Julio had 2, and Brendan Donovan returned to the lineup after missing a couple games with an illness. Don't know what was going on there, but he said it was really bad, like the sickest he's ever been in his life.
How about that? And then still managed to take the walk Saturday night. I mean, again, all you have to do is stand there. They were going to find a way to walk you, but good on him. He shows up and takes a huge at-bat. Sorry, go on.
No worries. Jose Ferrer and Cooper Criswell each pitched a scoreless inning to lock up the 6-1 win, and what will be the Mariners' first win this season, possibly the sweep. We'll find out today.
All right. Let's hear about yesterday, Maura, because while I did have the Mariner game on my computer, it was on mute because I was watching the Masters.
Okay. Well, do you want to get into the drama, the Sergio Garcia guy?
God, Sergio's such a jerk. Let's hear it.
Okay, so he had a bit of a temper tantrum on the second hole. Didn't like his shot, and then broke his driver.
40 yards.
This was the frustrated Sergio. He hits the ground, and then that driver is done for the day.
I think he actually smashed it into like a water bucket holder type thing smashed the driver, and then he got talked to 2 holes later by the rules officials.
We'll hear what he had to say. But then I guess he did kind of a nice guy thing, and John Rahm's caddy was busy, so he carried John Rahm's bag for him.
Yeah, but I don't. Who knows? He's.
I was trying to figure out if that was the polite thing to do, or if he was just like, I don't know what to do now. So
I think it was that. I think honestly, he was so beside himself that he. Yeah, I think honestly that's.
I'm gonna just go to work. I'll be a caddy. Okay, well, here's what he had to say for himself.
Obviously not super proud of it, but sometimes it happens.
What did they tell you on the 4th hole?
I'm not going to tell you.
You nobody else use your drive?
It makes it very easy. I just have to hit 3-wood all the time. Didn't have to choose another club.
Your record here since you won is surprising. Is there one reason for it, or how do you explain that?
Bad golf.
Is there something specific to here that has happened?
Bad shots.
Did they give you a warning or something on the 4th? Is there
Nice question, please.
Oh, geez. There we go with the next question to finish it off. Plus, he did all that while wearing what I would only describe as like a rugby shirt. He was wearing a long sleeve polo. Looked ridiculous.
Huh.
Everything about it was ridiculous.
So if you break your club, you're not allowed to replace it. You just have to play with what you have.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Even if it's accidental.
Like even if you just swing and it falls apart or something.
Yeah. Yep. I don't understand if you're that competitive that you've got that kind of a temper. Why are you playing on the Live Tour with no real competition? And I just don't get it. Sergio's a confusing character. Now he's getting old, so I mean, like, he's not relevant anymore. But seeing that stuff, it's just I don't mind.
Did he have to qualify for the Masters?
I don't. He must. I don't know how he does. He's a former winner. It may have been recent enough that he still has automatic qualifying. I'm not sure how he qualified specifically, but. Maybe just world golf ranking points. I don't know. I'm not sure which way he qualified, but he's not really relevant anymore. So when you see this stuff, it just, I don't know, it's more sad, I think, than anything else. Like, he just looks like a bozo.
I don't know that much about golf, but I just always thought that this conduct would be frowned upon because it seems so. I mean, the announcers have to like whisper the entire time.
It's great. It was so great. Yesterday was awesome. Rory was so great yesterday. And because he wasn't at his best and he still found a way. And yeah, everyone else gave it up more, if that makes sense. Like, it just at the beginning, everyone was pouring shots in, and then eventually he just hit more good shots than everyone else.
Scheffler was giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, but Scheffler was, he had blown it early in the tournament, so he was way ahead of him on the course. And so eventually Scotty just kind of ran out of holes. Like, they weren't battling back and forth because Scotty was like, 4 holes ahead of him or something? 3-4 holes ahead of him. I mean, he had Justin Rose there, and he had Cameron Young there. Like, there were guys around him, but everyone just one by one. Scotty played the best yesterday at the end. I mean, but even yesterday, for the most part, Scotty just par after par after par, and then he had those big ones at the end to make it close, but unfortunately, he missed the putt on 17. Rory made 2 tremendous plays from just off the green on 16 and 17, and it was hard not to root for Rory walking around. Talking about walks, man. The Mariners may have been walking around the bases, but nobody walks like Rory. Nobody walks like Rory. He's just got that confident strut going, like, boy, howdy. He is. When he walks, man. There you go. Thank you. Katrina and the Waves, Lyle?
I mean, I think I've heard this song, but
there we go.
There we go.
I don't know the band.
Well, it's a one-hit wonder.
So I looked it up, and it says that Sergio Garcia, because he's a past champion, he receives a lifetime invitation, but that people have advocated for him having it taken away because of his behavior.
Because he's such a bozo. Yeah.
I didn't know you got a lifetime invitation after that.
I knew that you. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because even guys like, Freddie's there, and there's a lot of old folks that are still able to go play because they have their lifetime exemption.
By the way, what was that camera crew doing on the 18th hole? I know it was a 6-inch putt, but they had the wrong angle. I worried for a second the ball didn't go in.
There were a couple of odd moments on 18, and as Rory was coming up the one where he had to hit from the other fairway, like, nobody seemed to have any idea where the ball was. It turned out it was in the bunker, but nobody knew. That was a little odd, too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal was there. I got nothing for you, Lau.
I just got a little nervous for a second. He missed the 6-inch putt to clinch the Masters, but then once
Can
you
you
saw
imagine?
Then once you saw him screaming, it's like, oh, he made it.
Can you imagine?
Well, Mike McDonald was there, and I know we're going to hear a little more from him later, but here is apparently he saw a lot of Seahawks fans from this area.
I've been surprised. I've met quite a few patrons so far that are from Washington State, like Tacoma and some of those areas, and just to share that time and no pictures, which is kind of nice sometimes, but share a handshake and share a couple memories together and keep it moving. But it's been a lot of fun.
Keep it moving.
All right, we got to go. Thank you, Maura. A great trip around the weekend. Yeah, people saying, ouch, Salk, Masters channel. Everybody's texting it. Yeah, guys, I didn't like golf until like 10 years ago, and I think the Masters sucks, even though I enjoy watching it. I'll just say it. Like, it's a fun tournament to watch, but I think the whole thing around the Masters is obnoxious. I just do. Like, it's my third favorite of the majors, and I'm putting the players ahead of it. I don't know what to tell you.
You just leaned into it, calling them patrons, though. You could have just said fans.
I'm not going to do that. I'll be respectful to their idiocy, but I hate the whole nature of the whole thing. The course is beautiful. The drama is incredible. I love watching it, and I love watching all big tournaments, but all of the hoopla around it kind of makes me ill. So just letting you know, just to make sure that you guys know I'm a little different from you. Brock will be in next, and we got a whole bunch of Mariners stuff to talk about. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft, Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
You know who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Hewitt, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like Hope Link, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential.
Fill this out.
Call
Let's go to
anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
So why does it work from home?
Ethos.com/game.
Not when I'm traveling.
Ethos.com/game.
Don't know.
Don't
know. Don't care.
Required.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids.
Hi, Lyle.
ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get in the freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Wow, what a weekend. What a sports weekend here in Seattle. Lots of winners, Brock. Seattle.
Yeah. What was it? My midweek last week where we were losers? We're just no fun. Like, we're not losers.
Kraken 1-1.
It's just not who we are.
It's
not what the city's become.
To lose that game. Plus, we got to watch
it was a bad aroma. It just was not us. It was like this cologne that I wore. Actually, Molly got me for a gift. We were in one of those moments, and she was like, "Oh, I don't like the smell of this." I was like, "You got me this."
This is not who we are.
And she's like, "This isn't the right one." I'm like, "This is 100. This is one of Titus's under his sink." I'm like, "No, this is absolutely. I'll go in. I'll show you. This is the cologne you got me. You handpicked it." Yes.
You got me this. And she's like, this isn't the right one. I'm like, this is 100. This is one of Titus's.
No, she said, I guess.
Absolutely. I'll go in.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly right, Salk.
Oh my God.
So what changed with the Mariners?
You should have just said, I must have taken the wrong one. You should have taken the heat on that one. There was no reason. What did she say at the end of all that?
Wow. It has been a while since we've seen that level of
Obviously, something has changed with you.
That's exactly right.
This is still clearly
So what
your
changed
fault.
with the Mariners?
What changed with the Mariners?
Yeah.
Well, a couple things. One, they faced the Astros.
That's 12U baseball.
And that pitching staff is bad. Look, really, really bad.
Wow.
Brock.
It had been a while since we'd seen
pretty
that
rough
level of ineptitude.
I don't think I've ever seen 26 walks in a weekend. That's 26 walks in 3 games. That is truly horrific.
That's 12U baseball kind of stuff.
Not even.
Luke.
That is that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I loved how many guys, though. I mean, that was the Astros side of it, but you still had to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how many heroes they had over the weekend. Randy, Cal, Julio, JP, Donovan, Brash, Bizzardo, Rayleigh. I mean, you could go on and on. So I'll ask you to start the show today, and I think I have 4 candidates. Which Mariner had the best weekend?
Is this a foreign film category? What weekend?
I think there are 4 candidates. Do you want you guys want the candidates first?
For sure.
And then you can figure out who the winner is?
Okay.
My 4 candidates, and if you have somebody else, you can
not just
a
home run.
But I thought these
not
4,
just a home run.
Is this a foreign film category?
Yes. And the nominees are Julio Rodriguez.
For sure.
5 hits, a double, a home run, 3 runs driven in, and the home run was to tie it up.
Yeah,
his 3rd big-time clutch hit already of this season. Mm-hmm. So that would be Julio.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, 5 hits, a home run that really got them going on Friday and kind of started the whole weekend's worth of scoring. And he drove in 5 this weekend as well. So Julio and Randy would be 1 and 2. Number 3 would be JP, obviously. 3 hits, fine, but 7 walks. He had 7 of their 26 walks in the 3 games, plus the walk-off winner hit on Saturday night to complete the crazy comeback. So those would be the 3 offensive guys. But I'm going to throw in 1 pitcher, and that's Logan Gilbert. For 7 dominant innings yesterday against the only thing about the Astros that is good, which is their lineup. Their lineup is still very good despite how bad the pitching is. And Logan had not been great. He wasn't bad, but he hadn't been great through his first couple of starts. He was great yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to go, for me, I'm going to go the guy that I'm always the hardest on.
This year.
And that's Julio.
I guess he did.
That's Julio. I love that he wanted his first extra base hit. He wanted the baseball. That was just kind of Julio. I love that he spoke up, and I think we're going to hit on that a little bit later in the show, right? And put some voice to some of the frustrations of this start, and just is some of the vocal leader that we've watched him grow into. The 3-run home run is why you swept this weekend. Now, obviously, got one more, right? An afternoon game today, and this kind of weird wraparound 4-game series, which is awesome because you're catching the Astros at the best possible time you could catch those guys, where they can't throw it right now and are really beat up. So you don't sweep him, I don't think, if he doesn't hit that 3-run bomb. And then what that just does, I think, for him and for his team, and what we've always seen over the years, when Julio goes, the rest of the team goes.
Where they can't throw it right now and are really beat up.
I apologize. Sorry. 2-run bomb.
You don't sweep him, I don't think, if he doesn't hit that 3-run bomb. And then what that just does, I think, for him,
he's in a different class.
We've seen over the years.
He's in one of those that I don't know if I'm going to ever get there to have the kind of affinity that you have for him, kind of camp. I just don't know if I'm going to get there. Julio.
So I thought that you were going with Randy as your guy.
Yes, he
did.
A
different class.
He is.
He's in one of those. That I don't know if I'm going to ever get there to have the kind of affinity that you have for him, kind of camp. I just don't know if I'm going to get there. Julio.
He treaded on a lot of that over the last couple of weeks. Let's be clear.
Yes, he did.
I don't love the way he handled the whole WBC thing at all.
Yeah.
But I do have fun watching him. I do. I just think he's fun. I recognize a lot of the warts that Randy has, certainly in the outfield. But I just find him enjoyable to watch because there's always something going on with him. But I said it an hour ago. I'll say it again. The reason I probably agree with you that the answer here is Julio is that this team is at its most, not just its best, but its most fun when Julio is being Julio, when he's just on top of his game and playing with ease and grace and fun and effort and smiles and humor and unbelievable athleticism. It is fun.
Yep.
But I don't know if he's my answer. I might actually go with JP. I mean, JP, think about what where he's been this year and really just, hurt to start the year. We didn't get anything for spring training. And 7, there's something about doing whatever it is you do and doing it the best that I really love.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you see it all the time. I was noticing it the other day watching Cecily and a couple of her friends trying out. And like one girl's a great skater and she showed off her skating. And Cecily is a physical player and she showed off her physicality. And the other, like each one doing one.
When the bases are loaded. When the bases are loaded, he is just.
Like, I just love that they're doing the thing they do best.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at this list, that's kind of what it was. You know, JP's best skill is his eye.
Yes.
It's his at-bats, the quality of his at-bats. That, and for whatever reason, he becomes...
When the bases are loaded.
Like,
when the bases are loaded,
he becomes Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Barry Bonds, and whoever, Ken Griffey Jr. All put together with the bases loaded. It's incredible. But I
thought maybe the texter, I thought you'd put him on the nominee list for foreign film as well. That text that we got on Thursday that said, you know what's going to happen, right? Now, they didn't ultimately win, that game on Wednesday. Maybe the text was on Wednesday. I'm confused, Wednesday or Thursday. But the text basically said, they're gonna get one in Texas, and then they're going to sweep away the Astros, and you guys are going to come in on Monday, and you're going to talk about a World Series contending team. You know that's baseball, and you just know how that's going to go. So that texter on Wednesday, you were darn close. Just didn't quite get it done Wednesday, but certainly got it done over the weekend.
One in Texas, and then they're going to
just swept away the weekend, swept the weekend.
And you're going to talk about a World Series contending team. You know that's baseball, and you just know how that's going to go. So that texter on Wednesday, you were darn close.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite get it done Wednesday.
Well, they haven't swept him yet. They haven't swept him yet. Still one more game to go, but it was a pretty darn good weekend for the Mariners.
As I finished rebuilding my studio,
waiting for Houston to leave. We'll come right back, give you guys everything you need to know, including the other big sporting event from yesterday. It is Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports at 710, SeattleSports.com.
No, that's really not good.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air.
I'm on the air here. What's up?
Base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing you could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Mike Salk here. More than 4,000 people here around our area have trusted East Side Weight Loss Clinic because it's a safe way to lose weight. I am one of those people. And I've heard from listeners, other hosts in the building who've done it. We've had advertisers who go on the program and lost weight as well. 20, 30 pounds in less than 8 weeks. That's what I did. 10 pounds in the first week. That's right. Eating healthy, fresh food that you buy at the grocery store, no costly recurring monthly payments for injections or pills, none of those scary side effects, none of it. It's a doctor-developed plan that is safe and it works. Simple as that. 15 minutes, you might spend that time sitting in traffic today, right? So schedule instead a consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com because the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C., results may vary.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
Olympic Hot Tub. Make the arrival of spring even sweeter with a healthy, relaxing saltwater soak every night. During our Sweet Spring Savings event, you can save up to $3,000 on the hot tub of your dreams. Experience the incredible wellness benefits of natural salt water right in your own backyard. Ends April 14th. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
If
you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact. If you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, we knew the Mariners weren't hitting. We knew the Astros weren't pitching. So what would happen when they met? Well, it turns out the Mariners' hitting woes, which we all kind of assumed were, temporary, whereas the people pitching for the Astros right now are just not good at all. And
Is
so
that manager in trouble, you think? The pitching coach?
I think they're all so injured, right? They're missing Javier, they're missing Hunter Brown, they're missing, who's the third guy they're missing?
Ronel Blanco?
Yeah, Ronel Blanco. Like, they're missing 3 starters.
All right.
I think that'll probably give him a little bit of light, but they're still bad. It doesn't explain Abreu and some of they were awful. Really, really, really bad at pitching in this series. And then, as you said, Brock, the Mariners took advantage.
And again, the 1-2 on the way to Julio, swinging a fly ball deep to center field. Trammell going back to the warning track, to the wall, looking up. Goodbye, baseball! To the base of the batter's eye, straight away center field. Julio pumping his fist high in the air as he rounds second. His first home run of the 2026 season. Holy smokes, has tied the game at 7-7 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. What a comeback by the comeback kids.
Yeah, and then a little bit while later, it was JP walking it off in the 9th. So that was Saturday's big comeback yesterday. Honestly, they just kept walking around the bases and ended up winning 6-1.
That could have been 15-1.
It could have been, yeah.
Honestly, I think they were only 2 or 3 of 15 with runners in scoring position. It was bases
and
loaded.
They took themselves out of some of those moments.
Yeah.
Like, guys, just don't swing. Just stand there. They should have done the Randy and just walk out of the box as they're throwing a pitch because nobody could hit the broadside of a barn.
Fake the bunt.
Whatever you've got to do. Yeah. I thought Luke Raley had a really nice weekend as well, Brock. talked about him a lot heading into the season as a potential X factor, and he's healthy and playing better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just making sure things don't hurt. Like, you lose a little bit of your bat speed or whatever the case may be, and then your contact point changes, and it just makes you're basically relearning like how to hit a baseball at that point. So, yeah, it just becomes really tough. And like I said, last year was really tough, and went in the off season and worked really hard to get healthy and do what I needed to do to, increase my core strength and do that kind of thing.
You know what, wow, man, Luke? I've kind of figured it out watching him yesterday. Do you know why I think I like him? And, I've had my struggles over the years with the Abraham Toros, the walking just corpses. I just can't, and I understand it. They want to be neutral, but when the energy is just so vampire suckerish, it really gets to me. Rayleigh's got the perfect energy. Like, he doesn't pout, he doesn't whine, but when he swings and misses or he makes a bad decision, he just grits them teeth. Like, you just know it. Like, oh, gotta get that one. Right? And then he's exuberant, and he's happy when he does something well, but he's not over the top like I just did something I wasn't expected to. Like, he, to me, just has tremendous, perfect baseball energy. I wish I could infuse that in a few others over the years.
Okay. Well, it was a good weekend for the Mariners. Let's just leave it at that.
44,000 there Saturday night.
Yeah, people were into it.
That sounded
well,
like
you got a
late
day game
September
today. Weird, because the wraparound series, so you get to finish it off with a Monday day game. Very strange. George Kirby and Mike Burrows go this afternoon. The prospect pitchers, Brock, they were pretty good this weekend, too. Kate Anderson, 5 hitless innings, didn't give up a run and struck out 11.
Pretty good?
Struck out 11. Ryan Sloan struck out 4, but in 4 innings, he allowed just a run. He was pretty good as well.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
And here we go. His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
2 in a row for Rory McIlroy, Brock. He was not perfect yesterday. I mean, this guy blew a 6-stroke lead Saturday and fell behind for a while on the the first 9 yesterday. And then kind of came back. He only shot a 71. It was a 1-under day. It was not his greatest round, but it was better than everyone else around him, and he did what he needed to do, especially on 16 and 17. Those 2 par saves were incredible.
They were, and the 2 birdies at 12 and 13 were also right there. And I think it was that point you said it's over.
Yeah.
And by the way, let's give Mike some credit. Okay, he gets a lot of grief. He certainly hears it from me. And when I tell weird kind of baseball things, I can see his body language like, oh, gosh, this is dumb, but I'll go along with it. I like my last little piece of analysis on Luke Rayleigh's energy, but your texting was all over it. I think it was Saturday night, early in the game, where you're like, this is just fun. Even though the Mariners were down, there was hitting, there was action. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Right? When you're not hitting, it's not a lot of fun. It was just a fun weekend at the park. And then, I think you said it after the birdie at 13, like, this is over.
Yeah.
You're just not going to. There's a reason that I think the last 6 Masters winners have all been in the final grouping. Yeah. You kind of see the big boards around you. And
he starts that, lope. He's the only guy 5'6" or under who can lope. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody walk like Rory. It is amazing.
Yes, you have.
Boy, howdy. I almost texted
to walk in the studio.
Dude, I said this to Kyle yesterday. I almost texted you, Kyle, and Howdy yesterday. Like, who has a more confident, cocksure walk, Howdy or Rory? They're the 2 people. It's hilarious. And then, as he did last year, he got a little emotional after.
My mom and dad, they weren't here last year to celebrate with us, and surprisingly, I had to convince them to come this year because they thought that the reason that I won was because they weren't here. So I'm glad that we proved that wrong. But Mom and Dad, I owe everything to you. You are you're the most wonderful parents. And if I can be half the parent to Poppy as you were to me, then I know I've done a good job.
It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty good.
I like how people clap when other people get emotional to help them through it. Hey, if we just clap for a minute, maybe they'll be able to get their bearings again.
Do you have any issue with the polarizing victory, as it turns out? That he got to play Augusta 20 times this month? That he took off the 2 previous rounds and he gets to play a game that others don't get, and he gets an inherent advantage because he got to play that course 15 or 20 times leading into it.
Why didn't they do that?
Well, they don't have the means to do that, some of them, and they're not
but a lot of them
winners.
do.
Now you got
Scotty Scheffler could have done that.
He could have. Yes, he absolutely could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really. That doesn't bother me. Those guys get opportunities to play, and they know people as well. If Justin Rose wanted to find a member there to host him, I'm sure that wouldn't have been much of a problem. Sorry.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I guess we got to give credit to the Kraken. They won, played maybe their most inspired game of the year on Saturday. Unfortunately, you probably want to be losing games at this point. Gaudreau,
They're officially eliminated, right?
Yes, Beniers, Eberle, all with goals. The young goaltender, Nikki Kokko, Kakko. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his name, but he played pretty well. I watched the game. Yeah, there you go. One more tonight at home against the Kings. Then they go on the road, Vegas, Colorado, and then this season will end. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
I think I missed it Friday. I was out traversing. Oh gosh, did I have a road trip?
Sure.
Salky. From Manhattan, the Little Apple, not New York, from Manhattan to Stillwater to Lubbock. And I sat in so many quarterback meetings, team meetings. It was
really beautiful parts of this country.
It was awesome. Oh, yeah. And then you drive through across Kansas. You drive through Oklahoma.
Oof.
You drive through the panhandle of Texas, Salky. You get to see it all.
I've been through those places. Honestly, Brock, I'm trying to imagine a worse road trip than Manhattan, Kansas, Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah.
That's the worst road trip I've ever heard of.
Many times with quarterbacks, you draw up plays, and there's like a triangular read. Do you realize that? Like a lot of times, there's progression reads, there's full field reads, there's mirrored reads, and then you kind of just spacing-wise, just like in hockey or in basketball, you kind of get that old triangle. Who was it for the Lakers? Phil Jackson's guru, right? The triangle.
Tex Winter.
There you go. Good pull.
I got you.
And you look at that little triangle of Manhattan to Stillwater to Lubbock.
Ugh.
It is. Yeah, that's quite a vector.
That is a tough combo right there. I'm glad you guys had fun, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's parts of Louisiana. You get down south there.
I'm not saying there aren't other places that are bad.
You go,
but
as
a trio, Brock.
Who cares about this? What we didn't get to talk to you about on Friday was Macy Heward.
True.
That's true too. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick break. We're gonna do some Mariner takeaways, but yes, I do want to hear about Macy straight from Brock. We'll do that next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
I know Mariner fans love hearing this. Be patient.
Every afternoon at 2.
That's a dirty word. Go ahead. Start sending the text and tell me how stupid I am.
You come into the season and go, oh, man, I can't wait. I think this is kind of a shock to the system for a lot of Mariner fans coming out of the gate.
I still am fully believe in this team. And, like you said, all of the experts that are out there, they thought this too. I don't think anybody's jumping ship yet.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, this Monday morning, I got 3 questions for you. I listened to coaches all weekend long ask their quarterbacks and players questions. I'll ask you 3 that were asked of Molly and I a couple years ago. Do you 100% know you got the right insurance coverage to protect your needs? Number 2, are you paying the lowest possible price each and every month? And number 3, should you need insurance, can you actually pick up the phone, skip the phone tree bot, and talk to a real human being who can help you immediately? Well, when Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, it was pretty eye-opening. We were undercovered, and we were certainly overpaying, and First Mark has handled both of those flawlessly. So take the First Mark Challenge like we did and become the next First Mark victory. They will work for you, not the insurance carriers, to get you the best coverage at the lowest price. And when you run into trouble, as we have over the years, you actually get to talk to a real customer support person. First Mark Insurance has helped tens of thousands of Washington families manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands of dollars along the way. They can do the same for your local business as well. Be the next First Mark victory. Take the challenge. It's free. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They win for you.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident.
which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Can you imagine a world where you leave the house and you take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you? Well, thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just a fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's soccer practice. You're streaming the other game in 4K just like that. Or how about in the airport? You can download a cozy family comedy in a snap with Wi-Fi Power Boost. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? Well, that's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity, imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Some restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile. Experience more. Verizon Unlimited Plus and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, the regular rates apply, but go check it all right now. Put it right in your fingertips with XfinityMobile.com.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America and a member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have vehicles made for adventure seekers. Get the Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months with $1,000 bonus cash or $4,000 customer cash. Lease the 4Runner for $389 a month or the Tacoma TRD Sport for $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Exclusive taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Maura, thank you for reminding us. We got to talk about it briefly on Friday after the announcement was made, but Brock, congratulations to you and most importantly to your daughter Macy, who is transferring from Oklahoma State home to Washington. Yes. Another Heward will be Husky. Pretty cool. Congratulations.
Pretty neat. Pretty good. I mean, just fit all the way around.
Yeah.
It was just it was a home run. When Macy went into the portal, you don't fully know, right? I mean, you don't have all these conversations. You certainly had got to meet, and it's a speed dating recruiting deal. But man alive, was it her number one going into it? And And the minute we got there, it just became such a win-win between the coach, the assistants, the staff, the personnel, the players. That coach reminds me, I think I texted you this, Tina Langley, the head coach there, super successful for a lot of years at Rice and in Washington and tournament teams. She reminds me in many, many ways, as we just sat there, of Chris Peterson, of just the total complete package of an unbelievable detailed X's and O's, and then a total servant-hearted, selfless about the kids and growing them into human beings. So just amazing for Macy to get an opportunity to finish her final 2 years there, and for us to be home an awful lot and to be a part of it of my 3 kids.
Pretty cool.
This will be the last thing we'll get to of my 3 kids. She's the one that just was always the most connected to Washington, even away from it.
Yeah,
Whether it was
even at
Missoula or
3
Stillwater.
years old, Brock, running up and down the steps at Husky Stadium. I remember it vividly.
Yes, you do. I think at that point she was still a drooler. I think maybe you know.
Oh,
you held her.
I thought she was going to break the stadium. She was such a monster. It was hilarious.
Yes.
The first time I ever met Brock's kids, so it's like 17 years ago. And, you know, Haley's there. She's so sweet. She was probably, 5 or 6 at that point?
I took Salk to spring football.
Yeah,
so
it was
he
nice.
Get eyes
It was
on a college football program.
The wind was blowing like 75 miles an hour. Yeah, it was a wonderful time. But we're walking around, and Haley's, Haley's
Firstborn pleaser, right?
So
at my hip.
sweet. Oh, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Mike. This and that. And then Macy's just like body checking the stands, where you're like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but she's like, I'm gonna move this. Kaboom! Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was the old stadium too, where the structural integrity is some of the rebar out of the stairs. And
Wow. Congratulations to Macy.
Awesome for her.
Did you figure out, is this the first ever mother-daughter alumni ever in women's college hoops, or just with the Huskies?
Oh, I'm sure it's been done in other spots, I am sure. But yeah, she'll, I think, get to be the first to do that, to have mom play there for 4 years, and then she gets to put the uniform on, and
that's
be the
pretty
first
cool.
Mother-daughter. Be pretty neat.
Are they going to wear the same number?
I think she's aiming for it. She's fixing to make that happen. We'll see if that's possible.
That's pretty cool.
If somebody else doesn't have it, yeah.
Wow.
So
All
she's
right.
done with the Caitlin Clark number. She's ready to
move on from 22.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
Well, pretty cool. Congratulations again. Mariners, tremendous weekend. I did have some kind of quick takeaways. They're not the most important things we saw this weekend.
Do you want to get to takeaways?
No, I don't want to do takeaway music or anything for it, but I did think it was, maybe they're closer to tidbits, but a couple things that jumped out to me this weekend that I wanted to run over. One of them, Brock, is about the ABS system, and it really showed up to me with this strikeout on Saturday.
He deals 1-2. Strike 3 called. Freeze him. Edward Bizzardo gets the strikeout. Taylor Tamel has challenged. Strike 3. Edward Bizzardo, a magician. Runners on the corners with nobody down, and he gets out of the jam. A 0 on the board for Bizzardo.
That was a key part of the game on Saturday night.
First and third, nobody out.
Yeah, helping them win that
tied
one.
it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But what jumped out to me was, that's a terrible challenge. It wasn't, it was very clearly a strike. But I do wonder, and Lyle, I'd actually want your opinion on this. Is this an opportunity to help us judge how nasty pitchers are by how many failed challenges batters have against them over the course of the year? Because that felt like, to me, Trammell was like, I have no idea where that ball went. So I think he seemed utterly confused by the movement on the two-seamer. And so he challenged it, thinking that I guess it was a big point in the game, so maybe it was worth it anyway. But I do wonder if over the course of a year, if it will be the pitchers with the nastiest stuff who have the most failed challenges against them.
Oh, I was waiting for Brock to talk, but
he asked for your opinion, Lyle. I'm trying to
both
give you
of
the
ours.
floor. I'm trying to be a good teammate, Lyle. Okay, he's looking at you. I'm trying to read the room.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I'd be curious to see at the end of the year if some of the guys with the nastiest stuff in baseball rank toward the top of the list.
Yeah.
But seems like there's something to that.
And you're going to need to wait. You're not going to be able to tell over a couple of weeks of the season. It will take, quite a bit of time in order to see whether or not that rises. But it did dawn on me that they just, especially those two-seamers that come back across, that start one way and then drift back the other way. They're just, I think, very difficult to pick up for the batter. And so at the end of it, the batter challenges thinking it's in one place, and they're just wrong. So,
well, what is it, 12 to 18 inches a break?
Right.
with sweepers and some of these things that are just, I mean, think about that. With that projectile moving 80 to 98 miles an hour. It's just ludicrous.
It really is crazy when you think about what those guys are doing. And it feels like every week we get another just ridiculous. The kid with the Mets, I mean, that guy is McLean. Oh, my gosh. I mean, like, that ball is moving all over. I don't know anybody hits.
It's like an old Damon Hewitt wiffle ball.
Good luck.
He had a heck of a curveball in the backyard with that wiffle ball.
So anyway, it's something to look for and see whether or not missed challenges ends up showing us anything over the course of the year. J.P. Crawford, Brock, .419 on base percentage heading into yesterday. That went up a little bit yesterday as he took a couple more walks. He had a couple of, 4 RBI. He had the big walk-off. But, all of this after handling the Colt signing with great grace and maturity, and even the fact that he only had 20 real plate appearances before his season began. I don't know. I just found myself thinking a little bit about JP and wondering whether or not those spring training, I don't know if I want to say excuses, but when you hear swing just hasn't, not in shape yet. The swing isn't where it needs to be. Just hasn't had enough spring training at bats, or the WBC excuse. Like, this guy didn't get any. And, it took him, a couple of days after coming back before he looked like himself, maybe. But the quality of his at-bats have been tremendous. I'm not convinced that those I don't want to call them excuses, but explanations that we hear, to me, it's just sometimes guys are hot and sometimes guys are cold. And I'm not convinced it has anything to do with whether or not they got enough spring training at bats or anything like that. This was Dan.
He's a gamer. What can you say? To find himself on the IL to start the year, he got back as quickly as he could. And he put the work in, he put the at-bats in. We talked about that week down in spring training where he was able to get a ton of at-bats to be ready when his arm was ready, and his arm was ready, and he was in there, and it's like he didn't miss a beat, and the home run robbed in Anaheim. Just his at-bats have been really good. That's a testament to him wanting to get back in that lineup and get back, not just to be in the lineup, but to contribute in a big way. And tonight was one of those opportunities, and again, stepped up, huge at-bat.
I think a couple things along those lines, Salk. I would agree that there is certainly a hot-coldness to baseball, and maybe even any of the other sports we talk about and cover. I do think of Brendan Donovan when we were down there at spring training, and it's very early in spring training when we're there, first week of games. And I'm just talking to him off the air, and he's like, even 3-4 innings out there, you forget what that does to your legs. I think we minimize the impact, especially as a middle infielder, on your legs, and making sure you can do a lot of squats and lunges and all running and all of it.
No, it's the quick stop and start motion in baseball is kind of unlike anything else.
Night in, night out.
I agree.
Just kind of getting your legs underneath you. Secondly, I think I would also contend that it's he and Donovan in this lineup that are the professional hitters. That if we're watching this team as an opponent, as we watch all these teams, and Yordan Alvarez is just an absolute Mariners killer. He's a killer to
He's
lots
just
of,
a killer.
I mean, he's just,
Really
I don't
good.
even know how you
He's really
get
good.
that guy out. He's so good. But when you watch guys from the other side, you're like, gosh, that guy's just, he's a pest. He just has such an eye. He's just such a professional hitter. Well, that's JP. I think if you were watching him on the other side and these teams through the years that have watched him, oh, gosh, this guy is just not going to give away an at-bat. He just doesn't give away swings and give away at-bats. And, and this weekend was his calling card, and, on base now nearly 500.
7 walks over the course of the week. I can't even fathom that number. We also never really put JP in the X Factor category, right? As we were talking about the season, and, I mentioned Luke Raley, and we talked about Canzone and some of these other potential X Factors. We should probably put JP in there. Just for the clutch hitting, the professional at-bats, you're right, Brock, his ability to just keep them line moving, the walks, all of it. He really is another part of what look at his WAR over the last few years. It's his lowest year is 2.9. That guy is a 3 to 6 win player almost every season, depending. That's pretty impressive, especially
in a
according to Baseball
contract year.
Reference.
I think you're going to get the very, very best.
I would imagine. I would imagine you will. So that was number 2. Third one for me is about Josh Naylor, and he may not be hitting, Brock. He's obviously not been his best at the plate, but he really is one of those guys who just finds ways to contribute. Made a great defensive play on a pop-up over his head. I think that was yesterday. Maybe it was Saturday. And then obviously the big one was deking Altuve into getting picked off first. Now, afterwards, he said that it wasn't on purpose, that's not what he was trying to do. First of all, I don't entirely believe him because I don't think he would be truthful about that at all. But second of all, even if it was just him kind of playing games with Altuve, it worked. It's just always having your head in the game. It's always being focused. You can't always control the results of an at-bat, but you can play a smart, focused, heads-up game, and he does all the time because that is always within your control. Here was Logan. These are pretty funny. This is Logan on his first career pickoff at first base.
Yeah, I had to check it. That might have been my first pickoff.
Second.
In the bigs. Is it?
Yeah.
First one at first?
I don't know.
I was about to throw the ball out, but I didn't know if that would look bad. But I was fired up because it's been so long and I never pick guys off. But that was just called from the dugout as a glove drop, so we were trying to catch him bouncing. Sometimes he'll long holds kind of try to tie me up or something. So
all right, so that was part one, but and it was called from the dugout, so obviously Naylor's in on the play, so I do think he was doing something. Here's a little bit more on from Logan.
He flashed to you, then went back.
Oh, did he?
And then he went back again.
I've seen him do that before. I didn't know he did it on that one.
That's what allowed.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It was not me. It was called by the dugout. Naylor deking him. Cal reading it. So basically everybody else picked him off. I just threw the ball.
You threw a strike. I mean, it was a quick move.
I know. That was the first time I turned and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's off the bag. I picked him off. So at that point, I was just please just throw it to him.
How do you not love Logan?
How do you not love that insight? We all watch these games, and you watch them, and you don't think you just picked them off, right? And you thinking it's all Naylor, and it's no, it's Cal kind of reading it. It's the dugout feeling it. It's Naylor deacon it. There's so many moving pieces in baseball that we just don't. The game within the game.
Yep.
And that was a cool little.
It's why, honestly, Brock, it is why I always recommend that book from Jason Kendall, Throwback, because it does explain a lot of that stuff.
Can I give you one tiny one so we can get to Blue 88 here? I love Dave Valley's analysis yesterday, and I don't know if you caught this or where you were, if you're hearing.
I'm wondering if it's the same
thing
thing that I found interesting.
It was 3-1 to Dom Canzone. There's runners on first and second, and it's they can't throw a strike, and he swings, and he ultimately flies out to left field. You don't like it. And I think, in Aaron's way that he does magically, beautifully, just asks little questions to kind of, and Valley's no, I want the lumber moving. It didn't work out, but Dom Canzone's not here to walk. He's here to do damage. And I was that is just really well said. And the results stunk. And maybe you do want to walk.
Yeah.
But you get a fastball with Dom Canzone, you break that game open.
I know, but when they're walking the bases around, I don't mind Dom. Dom Canzone in general is there to hit. I don't mind him walking in that spot, though, when they're just allowing you to just keep walking around the bases. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, I thought Valley had another really interesting thing, talking about his time managing in the minor leagues and what they would do for guys who threw 25 pitches in an inning. Just, you're done. Done for the game.
Yep.
No matter what. You ever throw 25 pitches in an inning, even if it's the first inning, you're done. That's it. And I thought that as he was talking about Luis and the pitch count getting away from him a little bit on Saturday, that came up. I thought that was, I'd never heard that before. I thought it was interesting of just how they're teaching guys, to limit the damage, but also keeping their arms from the coming back out after the 25 pitch stress and trying to make sure that their arms are okay.
Really good,
yeah, I thought that was some pretty cool analysis.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, next week is the draft, so we are creeping up on this thing rapidly now. We'll have another draft profile coming up at 9. How far back do the Seahawks go? As they're looking for data on a prospect, how far back do they look?
Yeah, I can't imagine for every position they go back this far, but John Schneider, a little window into quarterbacks in particular. That position, they go all the way back to Titus Hewart's age and stage of development right now. Here was John speaking through.
Is he going to have the background, whether it's mentors or family members, or who does he have to fall back on, if things aren't going well? All these things are they're extremely important. We want all the information we could possibly gather on the prospects And then with that, and even still, with all the resources we have and everything in the National Football League, when we bring that person in the building, we still don't truly know like what's in their heart of hearts. Psychologically, how can we help them? But we know we have the tools. We're going to bring people in our building that we know that we have the tools within that building to help the players and help them accentuate their strengths and compensate for their deficiencies.
Accentuate their strengths, compensate for their deficiencies. I love that with quarterbacks going all the way back to high school and how you process and how you relate to people and how you handle situations and successes and failures. And likely in high school, it's a lot of success because you're probably a talented player at that level with good people. And then ultimately you get to college, you're probably going to fail a little bit. I'll tell you what I love, Salk, sitting in seriously 3 different position meetings, quarterback meetings, team meetings over the last 3-4 days of college football, just watching these quarterbacks and watching those that are like grown men that have a presence. That whole very simple, does he change the temperature of the room when he walks in? And of 17 years of analysis of John Schneider's, that's the one that's the dart in my neck.
Yep.
That just does not.
You can't forget that one.
Cannot forget that one.
Yeah.
And you certainly feel it in the evaluation.
All right, question number 2. So as you look through, Brock, all the things that will help you determine which players you want to draft, I think we kind of get the basics all the time. We hear about the 40 time. We hear about the strength and the speed and all of that.
And the length and the height.
And we even hear about the character and how hard they play and all that. What else should we be looking at?
Yeah, you know what has struck me over these last few years, and it's not an end-all, be-all, is you try to predict where John and Mike are going to go in 9 days. This is not an end-all, be-all, but it's yet another ingredient in the mix, and it's age. The age of these players. DJ said something to us in passing last Wednesday about a certain prospect, and he's like, oh, and he's young. And I was like, well, aren't they all young? No, not anymore. Like when I was coming out, everybody was 22 or 23. You redshirted your freshman year. You played 2, 3, 4 years. You know, you didn't come out at 20 years of age. Like Charles Cross came out at 20. Jackson Smith and Jigba came out at 20 years of age. There's going to be a couple of these players that I did look at when I was trying to decipher, like, do I go here or there? I'm like, you know what? Kind of like you lean into the bigger prospect. If all is even, an old Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, if all is even, take the bigger prospect. They're more sustainable. Well, if all is even, to have a kid at 20 versus somebody at 24. Jeremiah Love, the running back, is 20. He's 20 years old.
So it kind of tells you 2 things, right?
Jadarian Price is 22.
It gives them the opportunity to play longer, but also it means they're performing at a level almost beyond their maturity.
Yes and yes.
Their physical maturity.
And the third one to that is younger, you usually recover better.
Yeah.
Right? It's just kind of naturally. You bounce back faster. An 18-year-old, a 20-year-old, than you do at 24, 25,
47,
26.
Nearly 50 for one of us.
Get close.
Getting close. Like 2 days.
Question 3.
All right. Question number 3. Mike McDonald at the Masters this weekend, Brock. Andy North said he liked his swing. That was sort of exciting. But also, he got a little nostalgic here. This was Mike McDonald asked about the Super Bowl.
Believe it or not, you feel like the same person.
Yeah.
And I think that's a kind of a wake-up call on why we do what we do and like our goal, our daily goals and what we're trying to meet. But definitely having the understanding now that we have this memory from that group that we're going to have. It's kind of like a reason that we get to get back together 10 years from now. That's probably the most exciting part is we have this shared experience and shared like accomplishment as a group that we can have the rest of our lives and share those memories and find times to go spend time with one another now. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
How many times you hear the word "I" in there? I was listening to the DU hockey coach, and they win their 11th title. Denver University. It's like Seattle U. Same thing. It reminds me in so many ways. Seattle U there on Capitol Hill and DU on University downtown. Just small private school is won now 11 hockey titles, 3 in the last 5 years. And listening to their young head coach, and not one time did I hear the word "I." Yeah, we won it. We won it. And even on the way out, thank you for joining us. Yeah, we had a great time. Like, it was just you on the phone, right? No, it's all about the we. And it just strikes me how incredible. A lot of people want to talk that way, and a lot of people will try to preach that way, and a lot of people will say, Oh, gosh. And I certainly heard a lot of pitches through Macy, and this even just reinforced over the last week of life experience. Of our culture is this, and our culture is selfless, and our culture. But when you actually kind of get to the nitty-gritty of it.
See it. Yeah.
See it, and how simple a tell that is.
So that's a good point, Brock, and that is today's Blue 88. But do you think it means that Mike McDonald's a liar?
Uh-oh.
I mean, he was asked, what was it, a week or so ago, what was the best part about winning the Super Bowl? And he was like, oh, the best part is that it justifies everything we've done, how hard we work. Don't you think his best part was he went to the Masters? Like, that doesn't happen otherwise, right? He's not getting that invite otherwise, right?
That's going to be fun to ask him about.
I'm sure he'll love that. You know what? He's from Georgia. Maybe he'd been his whole life, but I don't know. It just sort of struck me that maybe that was that was a little perk of having won the Super Bowl this past year. All right. Let's do this, Brock. You sent something over, and I loved it just as you did. It speaks to one of the most underrated characteristics of a guy who's got some really easy-to-spot high-level traits. It's next on Brock and Salk.
4 Down Territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top 4 football questions of the day.
Who would you entertain if you can get him for cheap as the Seahawk?
So this dude's been in the league 15 years. He's a big personality. I take a look at Cam Jordan. He had 10.5 sacks last year. If he's still around after this draft is over with, go ahead and take a look at Cam, especially if you're not sure about what's going to happen at your end spots.
Catch every 4 Down Territory on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, homeowners out there, are you stuck? You just stuck on that credit card treadmill. You're stressed because your debts and your monthly payments are just simply too high. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution for you. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Well, you know what you can do? You can consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or simply get cash for that remodel to better your home. And with interest rates coming down, consolidating your debt now might just be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for well over 25 years, Tila got competitive rates on refinance, purchase, reverse mortgages too. Spelled T-I-L-A, Tila's a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. They're ready for your call this morning, Bill and crew. Give them a call, Tila Mortgage, at 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888. Tila Mortgage, LLC is a mortgage broker, NMLS 2472-046.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jake Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to give you a name.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is the show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Hello! Hey, you know what we're going to talk to is Keith Law coming up here in 30 minutes, Brock, at 8:30. He and I were playing phone tag last week, and he's been out on the road scouting, but kind of want to ask him about Colt Emerson and what we saw this weekend from the two big pitching prospects and just kind of where the Mariners are at. So that should be pretty fun. We'll talk to Keith coming up in 30 minutes. Brock, you sent this over, and I'm glad you did. It's a great quote from Julio. This was from Friday, and this is from Daniel Kramer's article, I believe. But let me read it, and then I think you and I both had similar and yet somewhat divergent views on what it is that's great about this. But this is Julio before the 3 wins over the weekend, right? Just kind of saying, hey, I've seen so many things online, man. People just talk so much. It's hilarious. The funniest thing I saw, honestly, was about the bat speed. Oh, the Mariners are swinging slower. It's like, we're not trying to swing slower. It's just cold as bleep in Seattle. He's mostly able to laugh off the outside noise. Quote, it's hilarious just to see so many people just trying to find answers, trying to talk about something. It's like, guys, I wish you knew how this actually goes. For the people that actually watch all 162 games, you know you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but eventually the results will be there. The best teams are going to be playing in the playoffs. That's how things just happen. We're going to be good to each other, work for each other. At the end of the day, we're going to be ready to fight. There's a lot in there from Julio. There really is.
Mm-hmm. I think big picture, number one, is he does hear some of that. Or his people or whatever, right? It's that he's not so tunnel vision. I think there's times we think these guys don't hear any of that outside noise. But I think that's kind of recognition number one is, kind of hear and read and see a lot of that outside noise.
As we know, every single player has a friend, at least one, who thinks they're helping them out by telling them all of the great things that people are saying about them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Agent, family member, whatever, different directions. So that's kind of number one. Number two, and this was probably a great frustration of yours 10 years ago working with me, rightfully so, was like you're trying to put these football answers into a sport that just doesn't work that way. And I think you used to call it the footballization or something of baseball.
Still do.
Yeah, you still do. And I think over time and just experience, you do start to realize that. So I can tell you in football, like I don't have every answer because I'm not sitting inside every scheme meeting and everything else, but it's like, no, that double team, that was messed up. Nope, that right tackle, left tackle, or right guard, right tackle, they didn't pick up that line stunt. Like, nope, Sam Darnold had the ball pretty loose in the pocket. He didn't have fundamental. Like, there's so many more answers just on the tape, right? You only have 17 games. There's not data like baseball of these huge sample sizes. So I think there's more answers to it. And I think that's a window into baseball. I'm sorry. There just are not the concrete answers there are in even basketball or football the way there is to the sport of baseball.
I think that's true. And it's why people get annoyed when they hear me say, well, sorry, it's just baseball, because sometimes it is. Sometimes guys make mistakes. Sometimes guys aren't working hard enough. Sometimes there's not concentration. And sometimes it's just baseball. Sometimes Rob Refsnyder, who's not a great defensive player, robs a ball at the fence. Sometimes Rob Refsnyder, who's been a tremendous hitter against lefties in his career and for the last 5 years, starts off 0 for whatever it is now, 17 or something against left-handed pitching. Some of it is just the ups and downs of this very strange game. Sometimes Cal Raleigh comes in cold, and sometimes J.P. Crawford comes in hot. Sometimes it's the opposite, and it's very difficult to determine the timing, which is why you've got to play this game over 162, not 50.
But I would say this as well. Now, to the Julios and like the data folks, the Lyle Goldsteins, Luke Arkins have mounds of data you didn't have 10, 15, 20 years ago.
And by the way, nobody should stop trying to find answers. They're trying to find answers themselves. I mean, this didn't start with fans. I mean, general managers and people in baseball ops are trying to determine what's under the hood in order to find guys that they think will outperform the contracts and the ability of everybody else around. Like, everyone's trying to find the secret to unlocking baseball. It's why we love the game so much. And of course, we're going to keep talking about it. But he's absolutely right that everyone out there is trying to find answers, and they just feel good about themselves. Like, yeah, we know we're a good team. We might struggle hitting for a couple weeks. That's okay, because we know the kind of hitters we have on the team. Here's the last thing I love about this, Brock, and then we can come back to just Julio in general. But I just love, and I said this to him at spring training, I think it's a huge deal. I love how Julio steps up to talk whenever things aren't going well.
Yep.
I just love it.
Yep.
I love how, and this is like not the first or second or third example of this. When things are not going well in Mariners world and Lyle's freaking out, and not this time, but in general, like Julio's always the guy to be like, okay, I'll step up and talk today. He doesn't talk every day. Most superstars can't. But when things aren't going well, you want your team leaders, you want your best players to be the ones to step up and take the pressure off their teammates and not force them to have to answer those questions. Leaders know how to take the pressure off their teammates. Leaders know how to push the right buttons. And I'm going to say it. I think Julio has developed into a pretty good leader in my book. He may not be the quote-unquote captain or leader of this team, but he sure does some pretty leadery things. And I thought stepping up on Friday was one of those.
And to have he and Cal to both be 20-somethings, to both be, in a kind of a similar path and frame to their careers and the age and the development. Cal's a little bit older, obviously playing college baseball, and Julio got started a little bit younger. But as far as kind of service time, they're on similar tracks and paths, and they're not the same guy, and that's okay. That they're going to lead in different ways, and that's okay. But the one thing that they do, man, is they work. They really, really work at the game. They don't take it for granted. And even in these really cold stretches, without an extra base hit for the first, 12, 13 games of the year, to not panic and not freak out and to trust all the work that goes into it, and the results will follow.
And then to say the exact right thing in a language that is not his first language just continues to amaze me. This kid is smart. He really is. He is a smart dude. He plays generally pretty smart baseball. It's not to say he doesn't have the occasional question mark moment out there, but I am constantly blown away by Julio's head in addition to all of the other skills he brings. Saturday, the next day, he was asked about some of the offensive improvements.
This is our offense. This is what we do. You know, like we're going to go to ebbs and flows, but we're never going to lose our identity, staying true to our approach, what we're trying to do on the plate. And, you know, it's just showing. I feel like we have a great offensive group, too, and it's just showing.
I mean, it sounds sort of like how he sounded last year at spring training. Oh, yeah, you guys don't like our team? That's fine. I do. I think we're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Oh, this is our offense. This is what it does. I don't care that it didn't do it for 2 weeks. This is our offense. We know what we are.
I like to say that my mind and
awesome.
the analytical nature of my mind was more suited for baseball and pitching than it was for football, but I don't know about that. Maybe pitching, but certainly not playing every day and failing, because I would immediately question, like, what do I got to do? How do I got to change this? What's going on? All that data, right? Oh, well, my elbow, I got to tuck my elbow. I got to do this. I got to do that. Right? You could just, and I would be even further paralyzed through, paralysis through the over analysis. And that is kind of the line that I think he walks and has learned to walk better.
Mm-hmm.
That was certainly a theme heading into the season to start a little bit faster this year, because he's not going to try to do this or do that or put my hands here or do this with my load or change that. Just going to kind of really try to be as consistent as possible in a game of failure.
And then a couple things come from that. One, I keep saying this, but the game is more fun to watch when Julio's going well.
Wow, this team
because he's such an engine.
He's a force multiplier.
He is,
to use a Seahawk term.
But he's also just fun to watch. Like, just the combination of all the things he could do on the field. And
is he the number one force multiplier on the roster?
Yes,
you're a cow.
Always. I mean, that's why he's number one in the most intriguing list, because he just has. It's not that he's more talented, although I think he is. It's that he has more talents. He just has so many different things he can do well over the course of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tools and I don't know. I just the way he plays the game with the kind of flourish that he plays with just makes him super fun to watch. I'll also say this: he's now got 3 big hits in key moments. If there are 2 big knocks on Julio, one is that he starts slow, the other is that he's been a little small in big moments.
Mm-hmm.
Not this year. He's been very big in big moments.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3 of the biggest hits of the year in big moments. They haven't all led to wins, but I think he's tied the game, 3 times late in games?
Yeah, I think all 3 of those tied the game.
I mean, those are huge plays, and staying within himself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a home run, but it was a rocket shot to center field. All of it. I think that's pretty important.
When he goes, this team goes. When he plays near his ceiling, they can sweep anybody in baseball.
Yep.
And, he does have that force multiplication to him. When it's not going, it also can be a little bit.
It can be a little frustrating at times. You're like, oh my gosh! But it is important to remember that these other moments are there also, and that at the end of the year, the positives are going to far outweigh the negatives for Julio. All right, Keith Law, as I said, is going to join us in 20s. We're talking a ton of baseball today, coming off a great weekend for the Mariners. And yes, it wasn't just at the major league level; they did it in the minors as well. Keith will have more on that. Plus, we'll give it to you and everything you need to know next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, Mike Salk here. I don't know if you've been thinking about those GLP-1 injections for weight loss, but I think there are some questions you got to ask yourself first. Like, are you ready to spend $3,000 to $5,000 every year and then stay on that medication long term just to maintain the results? Because many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and then when you stop the medication, then you regain the weight. Most people don't realize that a lot of research shows significant portion of the weight loss can actually come from muscle. And that'll slow your metabolism. It'll actually make keeping the weight off even harder. That's why I recommend Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. They take a different approach. It's doctor developed. It'll help you lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days without injections, without synthetic hormones, and without long-term dependence. Instead, it's real food that you buy at the grocery store. It resets your metabolism naturally, controlling the hunger and cravings and helping your body burn fat, not muscle. Come to the clinic in Kirkland, or you can do it from anywhere you live. They've got great remote options. That's how I did it. Just start by going to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, why did you make the call to First Mark Insurance?
My company has grown to a space where we need a higher level of coverage. A couple of factors led me to say, boy, I really need to find something new, and First Mark really rang that bell.
First Mark save you and your business money?
Oh, yeah. They have decreased overall expense in a couple categories by up to 30%, coverage in a couple of areas by greater than 50%. They've offered coverage in 2 new categories that I think are pertinent for my business, and they've greatly impacted what that coverage and those margins look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
At Big Trees, you don't have to shop alone. Certified arborists are available to help you choose the right trees for your yard. Plus, each tree Big Trees installs offers a 1-year warranty and a free aftercare visit from our board-certified arborists. Come visit the nursery, no appointment necessary, and see our wide selection of species. You'll find the perfect fit for your landscape needs at Big Trees in Snohomish, or visit us online at bigtreesupply.com.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready for family fun and fitness year-round in your own backyard? During our Sweet Spring Savings event, we're adding Endless Pools factory discounts with our already incredible savings. That means you can enjoy up to $16,500 off your dream swim spa. Don't wait. These amazing savings end April 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's Dan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Always fun to put a whooping on a division rival. Even more fun when it's the Astros coming to town, and maybe even more fun when they just get embarrassed because they literally couldn't pitch. They were horrendous. Brock, do you realize their starters, the 3 Astros starters this weekend, went a total of 5 2/3 innings? And that's with McCullers going 4 1/3. He was the best start of the weekend
Isn't
for
one
them.
of them a reliever? Didn't they have to kind of start a...
They did, but
one
still.
of them was, yeah.
I mean, like, he still didn't make it very far.
No.
Amai went 0.1 innings. I mean, like, It was a disaster for them. They gave up 26 walks and 23
Not a lot of pitch
runs.
efficiency out of the Astros.
No, not so much.
Let's hope that continues.
You know who got it all going, though? I mean, we've talked about Julio. We've talked about JP. How about the guy who got the offense started on Friday night?
Here's the set by Weiss, and the 3-1 to Randy. Swinging a drive deep to left field. Alvarez just turns around and watches. This one is way out of here. Goodbye, baseball. Randy Arozarena way out to left field. A 2-run moonshot, his first home run of the season. And now the Mariners lead the Astros by a score of 5-3 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Randy had an RBI in the first. He was hit by a pitch. Now he drives in 2 with a big swing right here.
Yeah, I should say those walks don't even consider the hit by pitches. But Randy had he's had a pretty good start to this season, for sure.
Yeah. And he did stand, I thought, on Rick's call there, it was Randy turns and watches, because he turned and watched that moonshot for a while as well, and it took that one all in. It was great that he got his first. It was nice that Julio got his first. Both of them were pretty large in the outcome and swinging the outcome and the energy in both of the affairs Friday and Saturday. And yeah, man, after scoring, 3 runs in 3 days in Texas, how many over this weekend?
They scored 23 runs this weekend in 3 games. Of course they did. Nearly 8 runs a game. People said, somebody texted in earlier, like, oh, you're not making a big enough deal about the comeback on Saturday. It was a great comeback. I thought Friday was in many ways more important, though, just because it just unlocked them. It showed them and reminded them what they could do offensively. This was Dan after that game.
Yeah, I mean, that is what we do. That's, it is good to see that tonight. And I think it's been a few games where we haven't seen that. So tonight to get that, to get our walks, to get some free bases here and there, to take advantage of those free bases, Canzone with the big double, Randy with the homer. I mean, when you look at those things all add up to a lot of positives on the offensive side. And again, something that we definitely we can build on.
Well, to that texter's point about Saturday, let's be fair. I mean, Lyle and I both follow Adam Jude, who both follow OptaStats, who tweeted out Saturday night, the last time a team faced a 5+ run deficit and won and got out hit by 10 and won, that would have been 1932. Those Indians beat the Yankees back in 1932 was the last time that happened. Yeah. So as far as baseball history,
it's been a little while.
Saturday was.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
It's been almost 100 years, Augie.
No biggie.
It's been almost 100.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
I should also point out, by the way, that they play again today. Rare Monday day game. You don't get a lot of these. They don't have a lot of wraparound series anymore where you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so getaway day for the Astros, and they're giving them the opportunity to play at 1 o'clock. It'll be George Kirby against someone named Mike Burrows, who came over from Pittsburgh and is now pitching for Houston. Rory McIlroy wins his 2nd Masters in a row, becoming the 4th player in history to do that. Blew a 6-stroke lead on Saturday, fell behind yesterday, and then, as you mentioned, Brock, a couple of key birdies, and then ultimately a couple of huge par saves. He shot a 71, but he made the shots he needed to make.
He did. And, man, would it have been fun to see him and Scheffler. Because Scotty was coming. Scotty did not bogey the whole weekend. That was also the first time in like 40 years that had not happened on that course that was so unbelievably fast. And he, on 17, nearly rolled that in. And, gosh, that would have been some theater because he chased him all the way down. He nearly chased him all the way down, coming back from 12 strokes down to begin Saturday. It was funny, though. Like, it didn't – I don't know. He was so far ahead of him on the course. Correct.
That it didn't feel like they were going back and forth with each other.
No.
It felt like two guys playing totally different games and waiting to see if they would meet at the top. Unfortunately, Justin Rose had, like, so many chances. That was hard to watch.
That chip on 12.
Oh, I mean, he chunked one. He looked like one of us.
I've done a lot of those.
I know. It was very familiar.
Hit the ground first. Like
the 3-putt after hitting the green on the par 5. Just like, oh, poor Justin Rose. He just can't get it done there for whatever reason. Mike McDonald was there, though, Brock, and here he is with Andy North talking about his golf swing.
Congratulations, Coach, on a Super Bowl win. I'm guessing you haven't played an awful lot of golf over the last 4 or 5 months, but you have played a lot of golf before that. You've got a really good golf swing. And if I spend a little bit more time in the gym, you might be as big as some of your linebackers.
Okay, it is true, though, right? As a head coach, you don't want to be like, wow, that golf swing looks incredible. You must have been playing a lot.
Well, John Harbaugh used to give me crap all the time. He said if my golf game was too good, that meant I probably wasn't doing my job well enough. So that stuck with me over the years.
Makes sense. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Why did Laura have to step in? There was a chance to have a very awkward pause there.
Yeah, she should have known.
Gave him his analysis.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Laura, if you wait, you could be here for another 25 seconds or so.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Yeah, Kraken win, unfortunately, not really the time you want them to win. Somebody was taking me to task earlier for saying that.
What?
For saying that I was saying that the Kraken should lose on purpose. I'm not saying that, just that it's a shame to win these games at the end when...
Like they're professionals.
I know. Yeah, just like in the NBA, right? They're professionals, those guys.
Well, the NBA, they just sit the guys and they call them, what do they call those? Load management.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have done that.
Apparently.
I mean, I guess they tried. They started their third goalie with their fourth goalie on reserve, and it was still enough to beat Calgary 4-1. Goals in that one from Gaudreau, Stevenson, Beniers, and Everly. They play tonight. Final home game. I think I'm actually going tonight with my friend Jonathan. So I'm going to go tonight, see them take on the Kings, and then Vegas and Colorado to close out the season on the road. That's everything you need to know.
You hit it need to know last hour, and obviously there's a lot going on there with the Mariners, but my goodness gracious. And we got the perfect guest to talk about this next, because Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan were just, and Kate in particular, right? 11 Ks, 5 innings, no hit baseball, like just absolute gem. He has spun his first 2 times out here in AA, and you kind of wonder how many of those does he keep putting forward. Emerson, by the way, pretty good, other than one pitch. He had the walk, and then it's kind of a crazy home run he gave up, and he battled back and gave you 5 pretty darn good innings. But how's this all going to work with Mr. Anderson and Mr. Sloan?
Well, as you said, probably the perfect person to talk about it. Keith Law will join us next on Brock and Salk.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
the work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft, Thursday, April 23rd. Only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
You know who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Hewitt, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF, People Come First Construction Group. Spring, perfect time to start planning your dream deck. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get the process started with 50% off your custom, professional design, and architectural drawing package. Kind of a big deal. And what does that mean? That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you could design your deck right now and you can pay later. Most people who start with a design package end up with the outdoor space that they have always dreamed of. And this offer is your first step. So don't wait until summer to wish you had started sooner. Do what Molly and I did some years ago and get a hold of PCF Construction Group today. Get all the project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Everything that matters is at stake in a divorce. Your home, your savings, your children. For many of our clients, a divorce was unwanted. This is Rick Jones. At Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men, our team of experienced attorneys handle every aspect of a divorce and custody case. When stakes are high, you need a lawyer you can trust. Husbands and fathers trust Goldberg Jones. Visit us at goldbergjones.com to get your questions answered at no charge. That's goldbergjones.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Meet
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC boats are easy to operate and maintain. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC, you have to see it to believe it.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Imagine all that can happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes are going to come out, but what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price never changed for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most. That finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. You get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices and no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings attached. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet's going to stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi, all with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions do apply. Select plans only.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish. If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Waiting a few moments here for our friend Keith Law. So let me tell you quickly, Brock, that I did, as we talked about on Friday, get to G's birthday party yesterday, along with Kyle and Kathy and a few other folks. It was,
Did you wear your Sherman jersey?
Hey, just real quick, can you call Keith? It sounds like the link wasn't working with the server, so just call him. We won't have him on video. Sorry, what'd you say, Brock?
Did you wear your Sherman jersey tucked in?
I did not. No,
you did not.
I wore a suit.
Okay.
Yeah, I wore a light suit, not a black suit.
The
Which
Haley
is
Smith suit.
Yes,
Smith
it was
suit?
actually the same suit. Yes,
Oh,
it was great. By the way, just without making jokes about the whole thing, it was awesome. It was super fun. G did a great job, and spoke. He had on the program 10 minutes for him to speak, which also was hilarious that he had 10 minutes like written into the program for the day for him to speak. His wife spoke, his kids spoke. Some former, co-work. It was great. The whole thing was awesome and really, really nicely done. And I got to see Big Corn again, which was great. Love that guy. Geez, buddy. So, fun day was had by all. There was no drama. I have no funny stories for you other than that it felt a lot like G was attending his own funeral. And the whole time I was sort of laughing about it. And then G referenced it at least and kind of was like, oh, yeah, no, it's sort of like I'm here at my own funeral. So, it worked out.
Eulogizing myself. Eulogize myself.
He basically said it. He was like, I feel like I'm having that kind of party, except I want to be there for it. I don't want you guys to be there, the only ones. Like, I want to actually be there for the party. So he was, and it was really great. And there were some tears, and G spoke very meaningfully, and as did other folks as well. So it was very cool. The whole thing was very cool.
Yeah, he was 50 Saturday. Yours truly is 50 Wednesday. Molly was asking me driving the other day, is it weird yet? Does it kind of hit you? And I don't think she loved my answer. I'm like, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. More than 40. Because now just gravity and the waterfall of life, like, yeah, it's all downhill from 50, like 40, I didn't feel that way. 40, I could still dunk a basketball and, see things without my readers. But at 50 now, like, without my readers, it's a problem. And I don't think there's any more dunking of the basketball in my lifetime.
No, probably not.
Yeah, it's kind of going to only go, I think, typically one direction with entropy from here at 50.
All right, well, let's welcome our friend Keith Law onto the show. Thank you, Maura, for working all that out. Good morning, Keith. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well. It was a good weekend here in Seattle as the Mariners finally, got their bats going, and we got to see what this offense looks like when they're actually hitting. I do want to ask you about some of their prospects. I do want to ask you about their system in general and kind of what they're doing at the major league level. But one question we've been sort of working through, it feels like every year here on this show, is the definition of early. How long is it early in a Major League Baseball season?
I have generally said, whether we're talking about teams or players, I don't look at much of anything till Memorial Day, which is about a third of a season.
Yeah.
I mean, even that is kind of a small sample. We've obviously seen plenty of teams and players go off for 2 months and then they don't hold it. But by Memorial Day, you've got some indication, right? And it's something seriously different. If a player has added a pitch or if he's dealing with you're trying to play through an injury or something, by that point you have enough looks and enough data to say something about it. And so obviously right now it's not even halfway through April. What if they played 16 games?
Mm-hmm.
So 10% of a season is definitely early.
Do you think you could have that kind of discipline if you did a daily morning radio show and you were the flagship of that organization?
Right. No, right. It's got to be hot takes all the way down.
No, it doesn't have to be hot takes.
People constantly ask me that stuff. People ask me stuff in the, that was out all last week seeing draft guys. And, did that weekend move his draft? No. It's 3 games. Like, I just saw a player yesterday play at University of Delaware. He was with Missouri State. And he punched out 3 times. That's bad. Right? That, just in case listeners aren't clear, that is bad. Striking out swinging 3 times against Delaware is bad. That one look alone doesn't destroy his draft stock. It's that in the context of everything else. And I go to see him to see what it actually looks like in person. But we're looking at the whole body of work. And so to me, just, I understand what you guys do. I'm not saying you guys are hot take machines, but obviously, you got to talk about something. Mm-hmm. We can talk about what the Mariners have looked like so far, but if Mariners fans are panicking, they probably were about 4 days ago, I would not panic.
Yeah, I don't think, and thankfully, there hasn't been too much, some panic, but not that much panic around here, and then we got to see this roster kind of do its thing. As you think about the Mariners rebuild that started with the Cano trade a few years ago and everything that's kind of gone on since, what do you make of what they've built here as a total product, as a total package?
I think they've done a tremendous job. It's the best farm system in baseball. That roster you're looking at is largely either homegrown talent or players acquired by trading homegrown talent. That's the way you do it. It's the way most clubs have to do it. That's even the way the Dodgers have done most of it. And then they have infinite money, so they can supplement with top-end free agents. But if you look up and down their roster, a lot of those guys were acquired through trading players they drafted or signed originally and developed, or even they'll trade for someone from another team, make him better, and then ship him back out in another deal. That's the way the best teams are built, particularly when you're talking about frequent contention, which is obviously the goal for the Mariners. Just missed the playoffs a couple years ago, just missed the World Series last year. Still think they're strong contenders for this year, and it's because of the organization they've built, where pretty much top to bottom, they're among the best in baseball at scouting, at developing, at roster construction, across the board.
Do you believe in force multiplication, Keith Law? Harvard educated. Force multiplication. Yeah, so Mike McDonald's got this term with the Seahawks, with a couple players, Devin Witherspoon in particular, and he loves to call him a force multiplier. This guy just ignites the people around him. Is there a parallel in any way to baseball? Because I make the comp to Julio, that when Julio goes, the whole rest of the team explodes.
No, I think that's me. That might be true in football. I'm not a football guy, but in baseball, no. We are such an individual sport, and if one player starts performing at peak of his abilities or is underperforming, it is barely going to affect the other players on the team. Now, there is a little bit of a difference, right? If you have a starting pitcher who goes out and gets his tail kicked in and he's out in 2 innings, right? The rest of the game's probably not going to go particularly well. You're down 10-2 in the third. Obviously, the rest of the complexion of that particular game looks a little bit different. But on a night in, night out basis, baseball is just too much of a sport of individual players and individual outcomes that we don't have that kind of cross-pollination.
All right, so looking at some of the individuals in the system, I'm curious who you think is the most exciting prospect. Not just the best prospect right now, but who's the most exciting prospect in the Mariner system?
I think it's Ryan Sloan. I mean, that's the guy everybody talks about. And even just, I was out on the road last week and I was talking to scouts from other teams. These are amateur scouts, right? But they all saw Ryan Sloan as an amateur, as a high school pitcher. And I think everybody liked him, but he has gotten so much better in 2 years in the Mariners system. He was unbelievable. I saw him in spring training at their breakout game. He was truly unhittable. The stuff has continued to improve. He throws strikes. He's got the size. He really looks like a future frontline starter as long as he stays healthy. And I hate that I have to say that, but you have to say that for every pitcher ever, particularly every pitcher who's as young as he is, throwing as hard as he is. But I think I have number 2 in the system, but he is the guy who everybody is talking about around the industry right now, particularly after he looked so good in a televised game, that spring breakout game just a month ago.
So is that number 2 behind Mr. Emerson or number 2 behind Cade Anderson?
Behind Mr. Emerson. Cade Anderson does not look very good right now. His velocity has been down. I don't know the full explanation for that. He is, at the very least, not throwing as hard as he did a year ago. Now he's got other weapons. He's got an outstanding changeup. He's barely used when I saw him in March. I don't know what the planning was there. I'm very glad to see he's off to a good start in, I think he said 2 outings so far in Double-A, which is that's a big jump. I think going from the SEC to, if he'd gone to A-ball, even high A, I would say, okay, whatever, that's not that much of a stretch. For them to send him to Double-A, which is appropriate given where they picked him and where he pitched, and for him to have success in 2 outings is a great, great sign. But I have Emerson as number 1 in the system. I think pretty much everybody does at this point, at least within the industry, as other teams sort players, rank players throughout the industry or through other teams. I think everybody has Emerson as their top guy.
What did you make of the contract he signed?
Those are kind of no-brainers for teams. I mean, there's always a little bit of a risk, right? What if, for a guy who's never played in the big leagues, there's always a little bit of a risk. What if he doesn't hit? I don't know anybody who thinks Emerson's not going to hit. I know he's off to a slow start in AAA. He's also pretty young, relatively inexperienced. He does not have a ton because he's been hurt here and there. He doesn't have a ton of minor league at-bats so far, but I think you got to take the opportunity. When you got a chance for a franchise player like that, you can lock him up to a deal that's that team-friendly. You've got to take that. You just got to take that risk that, okay, maybe there's 5% chance he doesn't turn out to be at least an average regular in the big leagues. I'd be very, very shocked if Emerson is not at least a solid everyday player. And if he's just that, which would be a disappointment based on what everybody thinks he's going to be, it's still a good contract. And if he turns into an actual star, then the contract is a steal and just lets them do so many other things within their budget. When you do a deal like that with a young player who's even a 3-WAR player, let alone I think he could be a lot more than that. It frees you up financially to do other things on the margins of your roster to get you over that hump to be a division winner or get you that extra piece you need in October to get to the World Series.
How does he compare to the other two big shortstop prospects we're seeing this year, McConaughey and Griffin? How does he compare to those two?
Griffin is in another universe. I mean, he is a freak, and I mean that in a very positive way. I just have seen very few players, prospects, this tooled up. It is absolute, 80 is the top grade we give in scouting. It's an 80 arm. He's an 80 runner. I think it's 80 power. He can actually play shortstop, and he is a large guy for shortstop. So when I never saw him in high school. He played Jackson Prep, Mississippi. The competition was pretty terrible, and everyone said, yeah, you can go see him, but you're not going to get any read on whether he can hit. So I see him in high A last year, and I look at him at shortstop, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy's enormous. And then suddenly he's making plays in both directions, which is moving that you just don't see guys that large move like that. And now it turns out he can hit. That was the biggest question. He would have been probably first or second pick in the draft if people really believed he would hit. But there were a lot of questions, given mechanically how it works and given the poor competition he faced. I think Emerson has more similarities to McGonigal. McGonigal's a little more advanced. He's just a little further along as a hitter. He was at the time of the draft. He's got a little more present power. McGonigal is not very tall, but he is very strong for, he's probably 5'10" or so. Might be 5'9". Everybody's shorter now that they're actually measuring them. McGonigal is kind of Emerson plus, just a little further along, a little bit more ceiling. I had them, 6 spots apart, 5 spots apart on my rankings, but I do feel some conviction that McGonigal is the better prospect of the two. The one thing I'll say that Emerson has on McGonigal, I think Emerson's a better shortstop. McGonigal's played some shortstop. I still think in the long term, he's going to end up a second baseman. He's been a shortstop longer than I expected, having seen him in high school, but I think Emerson is going to be a long-term shortstop and a better one.
Keith, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And you kind of shot down in a perfect way my force multiplication question earlier. Is Keith Law a comp guy? Do you say and look at Colt Emerson and say Colt Emerson is and can be this current big leaguer, this past big leaguer? Do you like comps at all?
I don't. Primarily, well, one, my brain just doesn't go that direction, unfortunately. They've never come very naturally to me. But I often find when I have tried to do that, people latch on to them a little too much and think he's going to be just like so-and-so. And it's not really what I'm trying to say. What do I think Emerson is a high average 15 to 20 homers, high average, high on base percentage guy with more than adequate power. Who plays above average defense at shortstop. That player I just described is an all-star. I mean, he is a top 10, 20 player in his league most years. When you're a little dependent on batting average, there can be some more of that fluctuation year over year. Some year he hits 310, some year he hits 280, and obviously that changes the whole complexion of his season. But I think Emerson is the impact guy on both sides of the ball. He will add value at the plate mostly, but also add value on defense. And I think he's going to surprise people with what the power ultimately looks like. And that is something he has in common with McGonigal. McGonigal has hit the ball substantially harder in the minors than anybody thought he was going to. I'm pretty sure anybody thought he was going to. Because if we knew he was going to, he would have gone higher in the draft. I mean, that's the real explanation. The guy was the 31st or 32nd pick. And if we knew he was this good, well, he would have gone in the top 10, obviously. But we're not that good. And it turns out he's a lot better than we thought.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting hearing you describe that because it's not that different from what we've watched here for the last 6 or 8 years in J.P. Crawford, who maybe not quite as high an average with J.P., but he makes up for it with the walks, and he's got a little bit of sneaky power, and he comes up big, and for a while he was a great defensive player. Maybe he's not quite that anymore as he's a little older, but I mean, it sounds like a similar kind of player, maybe with a little higher upside.
Yeah, a better version of that. Yeah. A better version of peak. I would actually say a better version of peak J.P. Crawford. And Crawford is a good example of a guy who was a first-round pick, who is kind of mishandled by the organization that drafted him, which allowed the Mariners to get him kind of on the they bought low, certainly, and gave him opportunities and kind of let him be the player that he is too, which I think was part of the problem. There's an old regime in Philadelphia that kept trying to get him to be something he wasn't and to change really his identity as a hitter particularly. And also, there were a lot of issues there where I think he didn't get along with a coach, didn't like his approach, and him getting out of Philadelphia was the best thing that ever could happen to him. And then he gets to the big leagues, and he is a solid player, right? He never turned into a star, but he turned into a very solid big leaguer for many years. And to me, you were asking before, what do I think of the contract? That's a low end for Emerson. That is not a great outcome for Emerson, but the contract will still be fine. If that's all he turns into, then the Mariners haven't lost anything. And they may still have gained something because of the savings they've locked in. Obviously, I think Emerson's going to be a lot better than that. They think he's going to be a lot better than that. But if that's really what we're talking about as his floor, kind of his really worst case scenario, then that's pretty good. And it justifies making, it's a leap of faith to give a guy who's never played a day in the big leagues a contract like that. We see them more in baseball, but I will always believe, even when I think they're good deals, they are inherently risky because I have seen lots of guys, been doing this a stupid long time at this point, lots of guys where I'm like, that guy's going to hit. He is absolutely going to hit, and then they get to the big leagues, and it turns out they don't hit.
How about Cole Young's hitting? Have you seen any of him since he's started this year? I know it's, again, small sample size, but not only is he hitting, but he's hitting lefties, which, he's young enough where that might be a reality. Maybe he can hit lefties and be an everyday second baseman.
That's what I think he is. I don't think there's been a bit of a power surge here, right? He's, the slugging, I looked earlier today, was at 450 or so. And that's the part I'm skeptical of because he's not actually hitting the ball that much harder. I think he might be a little stronger than he was last year. Great. That's going to show up in batting average. That's going to show up in doubles. I think the player you just described, an everyday second baseman, not a platoon guy, that's probably what you got. And that's great. That is a great outcome for him. Even when they drafted him, I don't think anybody thought he was going to be a star, but I think the consensus was good everyday player. And if that's what he is, awesome. They are going to end up with probably a bit of a logjam in the infield at some point. I mean, they kind of already do with Emerson. Obviously, we're going to see Emerson at some point this year. I think I floated to you guys last year. Young might be a guy they trade because there's a lot of value in a guy who costs nothing and can be an everyday player. But if he's already establishing himself as an everyday player, maybe they don't. Maybe they say, you know what, that's a cost controlled for the next 6 years. Everyday second baseman, great. We will roll with that. And maybe that frees them up to deal someone else. Maybe someone like Celestin, who looked better in March than he had at any point last year. Maybe he becomes tradable then because they don't need that in the middle. They don't need another player in the middle infield with Emerson at short and Young at second.
Keith, you said earlier to us you have the Mariners as your number one farm system. I think most of the folks listening have heard enough now the name Colt Emerson, and even Sloan and Kate Anderson got a lot of conversation through spring training and their starts to this very young season. If they're number one in your farm system, I'm guessing it's more than just those three guys. Anybody else that really moves the needle for you and the Mariners fans got to keep an eye on this minor league season?
I will be very curious to see what Luke Stevenson does, especially at some point, I think probably fairly soon. They're going to end up moving him up. He was their, I believe, second round pick catcher out of North Carolina, who had power and had never hit for average. He didn't strike out very much. He just didn't hit for a lot of average in 2 years in Chapel Hill, which no one could really explain. Like, it just didn't sort of add up. Like, he hits the ball hard. He doesn't strike out a lot. Why doesn't he hit he hit like 270, which in college is not very good. Well, in 6 games, I just pulled it up. He's hitting 400. Obviously, it's a minuscule sample, but this is what you want him to do. He's an ACC product who went to high A, and he's off to a great start. And he's putting the ball in play, and he's getting on base. He's flashing a little power, which is really what I think he is. I think it's a 20-plus homer everyday catcher who can throw. And even if he does that with a lower batting average, catchers stink. I understand that the Mariners don't need a catcher right now, but he's valuable.
Not right now.
You just want, right? But you might, right? Guys get Adley Rutschman was the catcher of the future for the Orioles and an MVP candidate, and the last 2 years he's tapered off, and now he's on the injured list. And the Orioles' top prospect, Sammy Basayo, who is at least a catcher on the roster, now he is their everyday catcher because Rutschman's hurt. So there's no such thing as having too much catching depth. And Stevenson is the one guy who he wasn't on my top 100 coming into the year, but he was sort of the one I was keeping an eye on maybe to make that next jump. And it's a week, but it's a good week. I hope they put him to Double-A, put him in Double-A soon, and then we'll really get the test.
Let me just say, Keith, right there, that is impressive. I mean, that's pushing passing Daniel Jeremiah, our everyday, guests throughout the course of the season. How quickly you get to Stevenson's numbers. I mean, that's lightning fast stuff. Keith Law, is that a binder? Is that a computer? Is that your iPad?
Oh,
How do we get to that?
I actually have the internet.
Do you really?
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah. In Delaware. I know we got the internet in Delaware just last year. So.
You can navigate it that quickly?
Just last year. Last thing for you, and then we'll let you be on your way. You're funny, man. I love Keith. We were just doing the whole bit. It was 17 years ago that we launched the station, and I was telling everybody again about how you helped me get the job by telling me what to say about the Mariners when I came in here and talked to Brock and didn't know anything about them. You were like, say this, say this, say this. I was like, okay, sounds good. I don't mind cribbing those notes.
Put Griffey on the bench.
Yeah, that happened just a few weeks later. Thanks. That was all me. Is there anyone else in the system you think could help this year?
That's a good question. I mean, look, Anderson, despite everything I said about him earlier, I think part of the idea of drafting a guy like that is to get him to the majors within a year, right? We see the best, college guys taken in the top 10. The expectation is they're going to be in the big leagues in a year or so. My guess is he debuts at some point this year, obviously health permitting. Mm-hmm. You're definitely going to see Emerson at some point this year. Could Arroyo come up? We're talking about the middle infield log jam. He's a second baseman only. He can really hit. I mean, that is one where it's funny. I ranked him, I don't know, right around 50 or so on my list, and I had people from other teams say that's where we got him. We're, sort of I always think are they really praising me or are they praising themselves, right? They're saying, yeah, we like that. Oh, Keith agreed, right? We're on the same page. Like, okay, right, that's easy. Much easier to do that than be like, you are out of your mind, right? And you've got this guy way too high or low or whatever. But Arroyo's another one where if there were an injury, if there were a need, could he come up, take some at-bats? He's not that far away. Yes, he's in Double-A, but I mean, developmentally, he's really not that far off. Otherwise, no, I think the real strength of the system is below those guys, that there's a good bit of high upside talent, but it's sitting in mostly in A-ball at this point. Because I think we ran through everybody who's in Double-A or Triple-A who's sort of a guy of note. I don't think Sloan's going to help this year. Farmilla's not going to help this year. Celestin's it's not close to helping this year. Becker hasn't even played. I don't know if he's starting in the complex. Guys I like, but they're further away.
Yeah. It's so interesting and so cool to be able to have a conversation about a system like that while talking about a team that has World Series aspirations at the same time and has this, I mean, we've talked a lot about, and you kind of alluded to it, the draft, develop, and trade mentality of Jerry DiPoto. And I think this year I've really tried to add to that, retain, because of the money they've spent on their own guys. Naylor and Cal and now Emerson. I mean, like, they've really done a really good job with that. It is pretty cool to be, I mean, that's why you do a rebuild, right? Was to be able to have these twin conversations at the same time. How cool to be able to, it's pretty rare, huh?
It's the only way you get to do that. And we've seen the Brewers now operating on lower budget, lower payrolls, keep it rolling because they get guys, Peralta's a year from free agency. Okay, flip him for the next team. They got two guys who are going to help them this year, are going to probably contribute significantly this year, who are younger and who are surplus for the Mets. And I think the Mariners, they're not under those same restrictions, but they can keep things rolling like that by maybe keeping some players and deciding, okay, this other guy, J.P. Crawford's approaching free agency, we're going to flip him. You decide, these are the core guys we're going to keep, we're going to sign long-term. These are the non-core guys who aren't as important or who we can't sign long-term. Maybe you flip a guy like that as he gets to a year from free agency to restock. And by continuing to draft so well, they are one of the best drafting teams in baseball since Scott Hunter took over. I think by continuing to do that, they allow themselves more options, more possibilities to develop their own guys or to keep trading to supplement the Major League roster.
Salk, you want to know yet another indicator of how the Mariners have arrived? These conversations with Keith Law compared to 10 to 12 years ago.
They're so much more fun now.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
They're so much more fun.
We're the worst.
People come on and be like,
in this system, I say nobody.
Why is Keith? Yeah. Why are you bringing this guy on?
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. This is a lot more fun these days. Keith, thank you as always. You can find Keith at The Athletic and then all of his other various interests out there. He's just one of my favorites. Thanks, buddy. Always appreciate you.
Yep, my pleasure.
All right, there you go. Keith Law, that is true, Brock. It is a lot more fun to talk to him.
You thought that passing was a wet blanket. Oh, my gosh.
Nobody can pull off wet blanket like Keith. Hey, what do you think of this guy? Stings. Okay, he's a top prospect in the system. Yeah, that's because I don't have anybody else. Like, okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. I mean, even though he's like, yeah, Kate Anderson's been terrible. I mean, he's succeeding, but he looks bad. You're like, okay. I freaking love that guy.
5 no-hit innings and 10 strikeouts. Don't let the results fool you.
But he's also right in, like, he recognizes that.
He's looking under the hood.
And there's also so much you can do to predict, or else they would have gotten it right with Connor Griffin or Kevin McGonigal or somebody else. So, all right, speaking of trying to predict and project, Brock, we are on to another draft profile. We'll do it next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing they could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Dealing with divorce and custody issues can be terrifying and very lonely, but you don't need to face it alone. Goldberg Jones has been helping Northwest husbands and fathers for more than 30 years. Thousands of men have put their trust in us. You can too. Learn more at goldbergjones.com.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
At Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland, they have a ride made for the young and the ambitious. Lease the 2026 Corolla for just $209 a month or the Corolla Cross for $269 a month, both for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Or level up to the Camry Hybrid for $289 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
Totally rad and totally Snohomish PUD. Slash energy costs and upgrade your crib with rebates on windows, insulation, heat pumps, water heaters, smart thermostats, and so much more. Since 1980, Snohomish PUD has been stoked to help customers save energy and money. Discover rebates and no-cost energy tips at snowpud.com/rebates.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
I do enjoy me some Keith Law. I really do. 971 says Kate Anderson reminds him of a young Cliff Lee. Yes, I see some of that. There's some Cliff Lee. There's some Eric Free or Max Fried, and then what did it was Ryan Roland Smith says there's a little Cole Hamels in there as well. So, I mean, three people that are all really, really good pitchers. And if he's anything like any of those three, we'll all be very happy. Brock, we'll come back to some of the baseball, but we are, just over a week away now, week and a half away from the draft. And that means we're on to today's draft profile.
The Seattle Seahawks select.
This is Brock Heward's draft profile.
You want traits? Check. You want a vocal leader? Check.
At the end of the day, you have to say, okay, what's best for your organization?
Can you make people around you better, and can you bring people together?
Every day leading up to the draft.
I'm going to be all over the board on this one, Saul, because I had to audible. So just peeling the onion back for you and the audience, being as transparent as I can. I sent my list to Justin Barnes, my list of the 12 guys right there. And last night I was doing some work and just kind of digging into the player I was going to project to the Seahawks today. And I was like, gosh, I don't know. So I reached out to a few people. And when I hear the word stiff as an edge player, I'm out. I'm just out. I don't care what the numbers are. I don't care how pretty the prospect looks. I don't care even if there's production. If I hear stiff, that just is not going to be a qualifier for me, for Mike McDonald in this system. So that player is out, and in his stead is a different edge player who checks a bunch of boxes, and that's Missouri's defensive end, Zion Young. You're not in all of the little social chat, Salk, or all over Twitter for draft guys, but those that are, the Keith Laws of the world, many of them have said, this is a Seahawk kind of guy. This is a Mike McDonald kind of guy. 6'6", long, man, 260, 35-inch arms. So you've seen Titus. Titus did all of his measurements at different schools. He was 6'6" and 208 the last two stops. Like, he's big, he's long. But I want to say his arm was like 33. Like 35 is extraordinarily long arm. And so, I mean, just kind of Zion checks all of those boxes. Was out of a big powerhouse in Atlanta, Westlake High School, went up to Michigan State for a couple years, was good, not great, went down to Missouri, was good, and then exploded this year. First team all-conference, put everything together. That kind of scares me a little bit, I'll be honest. Right? This is not like a 4-year track record of immense production. But this year was like, this is a top 20 pick. I mean, this is big time. This is 16.5 tackles for loss. This is 6.5 sacks. This is 53 pressures. This is all conference in the SEC. Texting with Hawk Blogger just a few minutes ago, looking for some next level numbers and stats. He loves all those, like Keith Law does, the under the hood stuff. And he's like, yeah, there's not an edge in this draft that has a pass rush win rate and a run stopping win rate, both of them at the levels that Zion does. So there's a versatility, a multiplicity to stop both the run. He's not an elite pass rusher, don't get me wrong. His career sack numbers are 6.5, 5.5, 4.5. So it's not 1.5. It's not off the charts. 1.5, 2.5, and then 6.5 this year. So it's not off the chart sack numbers, but it's a lot of winning. It's a lot of pressure. And here's why I landed on Zion. Because when texting with one scout in particular, this resonated with me. That same scout said, yep, stiff about the other prospect. And I said, okay, then give me this. Give me like the relentless motor. Give me the fits in this D-line room, because that's part of this now. Like, you're going to get in that D-line room with Jaron Reed and Leonard Williams and Uchenna and DeMarcus Lawrence. Like, there's some dudes in there. Like, you better not be a thumbsucker. You better not be an ego. Like, you better fit in there. You better want this thing really badly, or you're going to be exposed. So give me like the want to. And it was like, oh, that's easy. That's Zion. But maybe of all of the guys, if Gabe Akis, silent J, Akis was the most rugged, this term alpha and juice and want to is just, that's been Zion. Very rugged, edge setter. I mean, will play the run. Absolutely play the run, 6'6", 265. Now, ran 4.77 at his pro day, 1.72 first 10. That's different than our Mason Thomas, who I'm going to profile later. That's different than the speedy guy. So what do you want? What are you looking to fit in here? Most projections have him in the second round. Got a DWI in December. It was his second off the field deal that was like, come on now, can't do that. That is, there's some immaturity and some poor decision-making that may lower that stock a little bit, that may scare some off. They're going to do their due diligence. And this may be one, honestly, where I can look at all this stuff. But, John Schneider and staff and scouts have been looking back to this guy at Michigan State and like, no, we're not totally comfortable. And he may be off their board for some of those things off the field. But on the field, there's a whole bunch of traits and a whole bunch of game there, stopping the run in the pass. It's 6'6", 260 with D. Lawrence kind of arms.
What did you say his arm length was?
35.
No,
33.
33. Okay.
33. I apologize.
Which is fine, but it's not 35.
No, it's not 35.
Because I looked up KJ. I was curious.
Yeah, 33. I apologize. 33.
I looked up KJ Wright's
I should
arms.
put my readers on.
KJ was 34 and 7/8.
That's right. That's
98th percentile.
Yeah, that's stupid long. 33 is still...
It's long.
Yeah, it's long, but it's not. Yeah,
no, it's not
34.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, you get to 34, KJ go gadget arms.
34 and 70. Oh, it was 35.
35.
Yeah, and Moore's got that just with her fingers, so that's very impressive.
Hey.
Sorry, Moore. You're taking shrapnel. That is today's draft profile of Zion Young from Missouri.
Yeah,
I like all the edge guys, Brock. I like all the edge guys.
I got a couple more for you, and I'll just be honest again.
Looking at the picture of him, he looks really tough.
Yeah,
he's like staring at you and like
he's an off the bus guy.
He's somebody I don't want to see.
Yeah, you put him and Derek and Leonard off the bus.
Yeah,
and all lines are like, really?
Leonard's got kind of a kind look to him though. Like he's huge and awesome, but he looks kind. The face of Zion Young in this picture, not kind looking. He looks like somebody's going to break you in half, which is pretty awesome. All right. Thank you, Brock. We'll do number 8 tomorrow as we continue to count down. We'll give you everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
I know Mariner fans love hearing this. Be patient.
Every afternoon at 2.
That's a dirty word. Go ahead. Start sending the text and tell me how stupid I am.
You come into the season and go, oh, man, I can't wait. I think this is kind of a shock to the system for a lot of Mariner fans coming out of the gate.
I still and fully believe in this team. And, like you said, all of the experts that are out there, they thought this too. I don't think anybody's jumping ship yet.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, springtime is all about getting ready for summertime, and football, college, pro level, same thing. Our local pros are going to get ready. OTAs right around the corner to get themselves ready for the summer and the fall. Same thing when it comes to your own shape, your own fitness. And you got a room, maybe a space in the garage that's sitting empty, and you've dreamt of making it a home gym because you've heard me talk about how great it is to not have to travel back and forth in the weather, in the winter, in the spring. No, it's all right there in your own space. Well, I'll tell you what, you give Top Fitness your room dimensions and they'll do the rest. They'll give you a complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the best brands in fitness like Precor, Inspire, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that will make your home gym elite. And right now, get spring special financing, 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive a $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here, so get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener. Like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV. But if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish. If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Fun weekend for the Mariners, and now they will look to finish off a sweep, a 4-game sweep, no less, of the Astros today. One last game. It's this rare wraparound Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday version of a 4-game series, and because it's getaway day for the Astros, they can play a matinee, so you get a 1 o'clock game today. Very strange.
Have you heard what the Astros have called the Mariners here lately?
Daddy?
Daddy.
Yeah.
Because the Mariners,
they've been putting a little whooping on them.
Yes, they have now for a couple years.
Now, Houston certainly helped. When you walk 26 batters in 3 games, you're helping out the other team quite a bit. Yeah. So that's 29 free passes in 3 games, including 3 walks in a row that ended up leading to this.
The stretch by Abreu, the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes Young on to score. J.P. Crawford with a walk-off single here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Mariners come from behind, down 7-2 to win it 8-7. J.P. is getting mobbed at first base. What a comeback by the Mariners tonight. They win it 8-7 on a walk-off single by J.P. Crawford. A line drive into left field. Cole Young scores. And what a celebration tonight by the Mariners. And a sellout crowd just about here at T-Mobile Park.
Yeah, it was the most surprising thing about that walk-off is that it was an 0-2 pitch. I was just impressed the guy was able to throw 2 strikes.
Man, Abreu is not just doubled down on the neck tattoo. He's like tripled down. It's one thing for Felix to have the fallopian tubes, right? That dude's got like a cross, and then he's got like a dark shadows around it, and then he added more light. Like that neck, his neck tattoo is
strong,
very strong. But his performance against the Mariners, very weak.
Yeah.
And even his first, what did I hear yesterday? His first clean inning of the season, as far as a 0, wasn't even clean. Runners on first and second. They pressured him even late in the game yesterday with the big lead. That
He's
guy,
not been good.
No, he is.
Funny how that can happen.
Neither is that.
So many heroes for the Mariners, though, this weekend. We've played you a lot of the sound of various guys, but how about what this dude did?
The pitch. Swung on, smashed, right field line. It's down, it's going to the wall. Naylor scores from third. Randy helmet off. He's to third base. He's being waved. Here he comes. The cutoff throw coming home. The tag, the slide. He is safe. Raley storms into third. A 2 RBI triple. And the Mariners lead 6-1 over the Astros.
Oh, Gary's shifting down. Downshifting into third gear.
I think Gary might have been dealing with a little sore throat. It felt like he was trying to muscle through that a little bit there.
I like the little gravelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
I
like Rayleigh all weekend.
4 hits on the weekend for Luke, and a couple of 3 doubles.
Yep.
They didn't give him a triple there. They gave him a double and extra base in the overthrow.
By Randy, too.
Just the whole thing, man.
And great execution. Go get the sweep today. Go finish these guys off. The Astros are on total fumes. Their staff has been decimated. You've seen everybody in their bullpen and more. So go find a way to go close it out before this is called a trap game, Salt. When the Vetter Cup is coming up this week,
it's true.
You got kind of a trap game. You got to take care of it today.
Lyle, are you ready? Have you been preparing yourself for the Vetter Cup this week?
No.
You going to sing, what are you going to sing? Even Flow,
Sure.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
What are
Alive.
you going to sing? Alive? What are you going to go
Black.
to this week?
Whatever those are.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Can you let the audience in a little bit? I guess they could hear some of my conversations during breaks over the last couple days. I shared with you some news about Titus, and you were like, well, you should just go there. You just go there.
Can I say that it was Stanford?
Yeah, sure.
Stanford offered Titus to play quarterback, and I'm like, well, obviously, if Stanford's going to offer you a chance to come to school there, you take it. And Lyle's like, it's a terrible football school. I'm like, yeah, but it's Stanford. Lyle goes, the very idea of taking classes at that place. My God.
I mean, it sounds atrocious. If you want to be good at football, then don't waste your time at Stanford because you're going to spend 20 of your hours a day having to read books.
Do you think Dave Wyman was good at football?
Oh, maybe he
went
was.
to Stanford.
Well, who knows? Look at Andrew Luck. He had to retire early.
Do you know what the acceptance rate is at
Because
Stanford?
he learned too much?
Probably. He was too smart for football.
What do you think the acceptance rate is at Stanford?
Ooh. I'm
Top of
going to
your head.
say less than 1%.
No, it's not that low.
Oh,
That
is
would
it?
be pretty
I
crazy.
saw Vanderbilt was 2.8%.
Was it really?
Vanderbilt was all the way down to 2.8%.
Stanford is under 4, like 3.5 to 4%.
Oh, I bet it's even less than that.
Well,
I bet there is thousands that get the advice from their academic
don't even
counselors.
bother.
Don't even
Well,
bother.
sure, but that doesn't count towards your acceptance rate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why do you think ASU's acceptance rate is so high? Look at how many people want to go to school there. They're like, wait, I can get my college degree and not actually have to work that hard?
Doesn't that kind of devalue the idea of the college degree?
People just want to see you got a degree.
Maybe they want more than that.
Doubt it.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Lyle,
I love feisty Lyle.
It's very feisty, and it's pretty great. Rory McIlroy, Brock, won the Masters again.
And here we go. His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
What did you think when Rory teed off on 18 and put it in the fairway for, 16?
Bro, if that would have been the U.S. Open, what hole was that, 16 at Chambers? That'd have been on the railroad tracks. What
Brandon Grace did?
Yeah, when that poor fellow went that far right.
I mean,
and it went on
Rory
the railroad
sliced it. Brandon Grace straight blocked it onto those railroad
Well,
tracks.
honestly, if it was the same, had there been...
But if he had done that on 18 at Chambers, it would have been over in the Druids Stonehenge over there.
Mm-hmm.
The
Or
relics,
like the poor
ruins.
golfer Lee on 13 that was up in
Dude,
the
did
woods.
you see the picture of Hao Tong Lee up there? Did you see that picture?
Yes.
So, let's check in on Hao Tong Lee. And he's on another golf course. Poor guy. He shot an 80-something yesterday.
He shot an 80. Yeah, he shot an 80.
That's a tough day. Tough day at the office. Rory wins.
not good.
Congratulations to him as well. You want to hear a little more of Rory? I like Rory talking about his parents. It's fun.
My mom and dad. They weren't here last year to celebrate with us. And surprisingly, I had to convince them to come this year because they thought that the reason that I won was because they weren't here. So I'm glad that we proved that wrong. But mom and dad, I owe everything to you. You are you're the most wonderful parents, and if I can be half the parent to Poppy as you were to me, then I know I've done a good job.
Pretty good.
I just love the idea of clapping to help somebody through their tears.
Yep.
Like if we clap for a minute, maybe he'll get over it and start to talk again. I like that. Pretty cool. Congratulations to Rory. It was a lot of fun to watch yesterday. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
Confession.
Yeah.
I got a little confession for you. I had to delete a tweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not like you.
It's first time I think I've ever done it.
Did you spell something wrong?
No, I tried to do an epic poll about watching sport, and they had 220 votes after like an hour. And I'm like, I'm taking 2 hours. Nobody cared. I'm like, I'm taking this down.
This
is embarrassing.
All right, hold on. So we're going to do a little potpourri. Maybe we should lead with that. I would love to hear what you put in there. And then I got like 5 or 6 other things we got to talk about. So we'll jump right in next on Brock and Salk.
4 down territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top 4 football questions of the day.
Who would you entertain if you can get him for cheap as a Seahawk?
So this dude's been in the league 15 years. He's a big personality. I take a look at Cam Jordan. He had 10.5 sacks last year. If he's still around after this draft is over with, go ahead and take a look at Cam, especially if you're not sure about what's going to happen at your end spots.
Catch every 4 down territory on the Seattle Sports app.
Highlights don't win games. The full box score does. I'm Brock Heward, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERP, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have vehicles made for adventure seekers. Get the Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months with $1,000 bonus cash or $4,000 customer cash. Lease the 4Runner for $389 a month or the Tacoma TRD Sport for $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through May 4th on approved credit through TFS. Exclusive taxes, titles, license, and a negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Olympic Hot Tub Sweet Spring Savings Event is here. Now through April 14th, thanks to incredible factory discounts, you can save up to $16,500 on an amazing endless pool swim spa. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Mariners and Astros today at T-Mobile. First pitch at 1:10, pregame at noon. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America and a member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's a good point, 415. Saying, Lyle, what you don't understand is that once you graduate from Stanford, then you can skate through the rest of your life because people will just assume you're smart and qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to work hard for those 4 years, but then the rest of your life is pretty easy.
Or counterpoint, 425, Lyle's cooking and is 100% right. In the modern era, nobody cares about where you went to school. Just get the degree and move on.
I don't know about nobody, but okay. We'll see. All right. Anyway, voice of reason, Lyle. Yeah, a lot of people. Lyle, not just ignorant, but aggressively so. That's a better one. All right, Brock, I want to hear about this poll. We're going to kind of buzz around the world of sports here for the next 20 minutes or so. What did you do? Why was your poll so bad?
Well, as you know, Salk, again, I'm getting near 50, so it's just even more open book in my life.
You're out of touch? Is that it? Is that why the poll was so bad?
And I've got, at times folks that help me in my social media realms that think they know, how to help me and aid me in that. And maybe my social media advisor thought that this would be a good poll as everybody's watching the Masters. Well, it turns out it was not a good poll. It was not an epic poll. It was a terrible poll.
Sounds like a current problem.
There was literally like 220 people that had voted. And I was like, what am I doing?
What was the poll? Let me hear it.
It was the best single viewing day in sport. Is it Super Bowl Sunday? Is it Masters Sunday? Is it Game 7 of the World Series? And I don't even remember what the fourth one was. Oh, New Year's Day of college football with the Rose Bowl and Sugar Bowl, and and now those are kind of playoff games. Obviously, March Madness didn't quite make that list, but just kind of where does the Masters is? We're all sitting watching a beautiful day down in Georgia, all of it. Where does it rank? And honestly, there was not even.
Well, maybe because you left out either division playoff weekend, or championship weekend in the NFL.
That too.
Like, because you get 4 or at least 2 games.
Opening day.
Yeah, I mean, you left some out.
Yeah. There's only 4 choices.
I know.
There's only 4 choices on Twitter.
U.S. Open, because it's on Father's Day, right? That element of it.
Well, anyway, it was terrible. I had to.
Nobody voted.
Nobody.
What did you think it was?
Yeah, I wasn't prisoner of the moment. The Masters is its own little entity. It's just different. It's so much storytelling. Having been there and walked it as well. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday. I'm gonna probably land, and we're spoiled because we've gotten to watch 4 of them with our own team over the last 2 decades. But the Super Bowl is still spectacular. The build up, the lead up, the commercials, the halftime show. The game, to me, the Super Bowl is in 150 million. People kind of tend to agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the biggest day. Is it the best day? I don't know. The one problem with the Super Bowl, if you could, like, for those of us that are in this sports community, and I'm including all of our listeners, like, if you care enough about sports that you're listening to a sports radio show this morning, you're in the elite club of people that truly love sports.
Or maybe they love lifestyle, Salk, and they love
maybe
Lyle's voice of reason.
Maybe,
right?
But I'm going to include most of our listeners in the elite sports category in terms of viewers. Do you have any fear that the Super Bowl is just like maybe a little too much for the casuals? That's why it ends up with 150 million, all these people that just sort of show up for that day. And in some ways, that day is built for them, not just for the people that are truly.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's why I think either championship weekend or even maybe better divisional weekend, because you get the 4 games on divisional weekend, and usually at least 2 or 3 of them end up being down to the wire, unbelievable overtime, last minute comeback, final drive. That would be pretty high on my list. The Masters is so hard for me, man. I'm sorry. I talked about it before you jumped on today. And I enjoyed watching this weekend. I really do. I enjoy the golf. I enjoy how much it means to the players. And it has been tremendous drama. This year I loved seeing a leaderboard with 6 or 8 guys that were all within 2 strokes of the lead on Sunday, and mostly pretty big name players, right? Justin Rose was there, and Cameron Young was there, having won the Players Championship recently, and Rory, obviously, and Scotty, plus even Russell Henley, he was right there for a few minutes and looked like he might have a chance. I thought that was really great drama, and there's no doubt the beauty of the course is unsurpassed, especially on TV.
Carpet.
Does it look that good in person?
Yes. Yes, I'll
tell you, it looks a whole lot better than the field in Texas at that stupid new stadium that the Rangers built. It's a whole lot prettier than that.
No, they have people out there with blowers in between shots. So even any of the pine straw that comes up on the green or anywhere, it looks
It's
that
pretty
good
spectacular. I mean, there's no doubt. It is an absolutely spectacular visual event, and it's presented with minimal commercials. And the reverence that the announcers and the players all have for it makes it incredible theater. I really do enjoy it. I also still hate it at the same time. I really struggle with the name, with the country club, with the people in charge, the whole Augusta Country Club thing with their stupid patrons.
You're not a country club kid, are you, Salky?
I mean, I'm from the Northeast where country clubs tend to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Elite?
Exclusive to the people that go there, mostly by religion, but sometimes by, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a country club guy. You're right.
It's very controlling.
I don't like it.
I can understand that the level of control that they have. I was seeing on Twitter, one of the contractors a couple of years ago had tweeted a picture of Amen Corner. Did you see this? They had a huge floods. The year the floods did so much damage to the south and up into North Carolina. And it literally, one of the contractors had a picture that got tweeted out. You wouldn't even believe it. I mean, the whole... right there with the bridge, before the bridge, it was like that whole section of the 12th hole leading up to the green is washed away. I mean, it was totally gone. And of course, they tracked down who took that picture, and that guy was fired. And how dare you let anything out of our control? And they have a level of control. They control the broadcast, right? They're the only entity to do that,
right?
Right? They pay CBS and they pay the people, and thus they're able to enforce the things that they want said. And I mean, it is as a business, it's standalone. As a golf enterprise, it's standalone. But I can understand where you come from on the other side of the level of exclusivity that is not.
I you know me, I don't mind a little elitism.
No,
but I do mind exclusivity. I think that's where, and I understand that those two things are often hand in hand. They don't have to be. And I don't know, the exclusivity of it, there's something that just rubs me the wrong way.
But you did not mind, it's interesting, you did not mind Rory playing the course over the last couple of weeks in almost an inherent advantage over 90%.
No, most of those guys. I read about this. I actually
did you?
Yeah, because it sounds like most of those guys. First of all, when you are when you've won, one of the things that you get is a honorary membership there, but it does not come with the ability to make a tee time. So if you want to make a tee time, you still have to get a member to take you out. So all of those guys have pretty similar abilities to call up and say, hey, can I come out and play? What member is going to say no to playing with a high-level PGA Tour golfer? Yeah, maybe there are some of the guys that have never played it before or not big names. Okay, fine, maybe those guys are at a bit of a disadvantage, but that's life in the big city.
Or they got to play, they got to play in Texas, and they got to play these other, because this is their living, their livelihood. They got to play it. Rory doesn't have to play them. He's made enough money.
Yeah, but all of the elite guys, Brock, have weekends that they don't go to anymore now. Now that the way the tour is built,
that is true. Not many for 3 weeks though. Get that?
They could.
Okay.
They absolutely can. Yeah. I mean, I think there's probably 50 guys that could have done that. So you're right. Not everybody, not every single player has that same advantage, but Scotty could have done that. I mean, Justin Rose certainly could have done that. All the other guys that were within contention could have done that. And by all accounts, they are allowed a handful of rounds ahead of time to prepare themselves. So I'm sorry, I'm not buying that as any sort of a thing. One of the reasons he's good is because he's played the Masters now like 15 times.
Yes, and you still have to hit all the shots, and you still got to execute, and you still got to do it all.
I don't think it was course knowledge that was a problem for Russell Henley. He was looking great, and then all of a sudden, the moment got too big for him. Like, that's not course knowledge.
Any putts. Same with Cam. It just couldn't make any of those clutch putts.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Sorry, I'm not going to take anything away from what
I'm like
McIlroy did. I thought that was great.
99.9% with you, but I think there is one side of it, just as a competitor. If I'm not one of the top 15 guys, you say there's a ton of them that could do that. There's not really. There's maybe 20 of the 95 in the field or whatever the field is that do have that opportunity. They could carve out and skip tournament and skip that tournament.
But Brock, a bunch of the tournaments, they don't have to be there anymore. Like, they've changed this whole thing. So you've got the I forget the names of the two tournaments, but like, you have the ones that have the top golfers in it, where the purses are larger and they expect more competition. And then the next week, it's like, whatever, nobody has to go to this one. It's for the guys just trying to build FedEx points.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You got enough opportunities to go play Augusta if you want to. I'm not buying that. Sorry.
Okay, that's enough about golf.
Okay.
We get to the real story of the weekend.
The Mariners.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to come back to some of what we heard
from on the Astros.
Can we wait, hold on. Can we do some coming back to what we heard from Keith Law first, and then maybe get to this weekend? Because there was some pretty funny stuff from Keith Law. I really enjoyed you asking him about force multipliers and him saying absolutely not. I don't necessarily agree with him.
You poo-pooed it.
But I did think it was pretty funny. You asked about it, and it's like, hey, Could you have a force multiplier in baseball like, Mike McDonald talks about with Devin Witherspoon?
No, I think that's me. That might be true in football. I'm not a football guy, but in baseball, no. We are such an individual sport, and if one player starts performing at peak of his abilities or is underperforming, it is barely going to affect the other players on the team. Now, there is a little bit of a difference, right? If you have a starting pitcher who goes out and gets his tail kicked in and he's out in 2 innings, right? The rest of the game is probably not going to go particularly well. You're down 10-2 in the third. Obviously, the rest of the complexion of that particular game looks a little bit different. But on a night in, night out basis, baseball is just too much of a sport of individual players and individual outcomes that we don't have that kind of cross-pollination.
You don't buy that.
I mean, I do. It's like this house that's being built, 2 houses down from us, last lot in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's being built, and I'm watching all the independent contractors, right? The excavator comes in first, and then the foundation gets poured, and then the carpenters and the framers are up, and it's getting framed. Like, they're all independent contractors doing their job that they do within it, but there still is, like, the general contractor that's got to time all that up. And I know we had a terrible... I think I told you, right? The story of the first basement, people that we had doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this loud fall in the basement. And I was like, uh-oh, what just happened? This guy had fallen off of his stilts, right? He was doing the drywall. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm okay. He was embarrassed. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that. Well, it turns out like it was his first week on the job as or he was the general trying to do the job of the drywaller, and he can't. So, yes, they're all independent of each other, but when you screwed up the framing and they screwed up the framing, guess what happens to the drywall, right? It gets screwed up, and then guess what happens to the finish? It looks terrible. So while they're all independent contractors, and I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, they still are tied together.
Right, it's got to get linked up.
Performance, right?
Yeah, I tend to think there is something to, getting the train rolling and the way that affects the building that you're playing in and the energy. I think there's something to it. I don't think it's as intense as it is in some of the other sports.
There's no question about that.
It's certainly in especially football, basketball, and hockey.
Yes.
Those 3 sports in particular, the force multiplying is gigantic.
And you got to just lay on the sword for your teammate. And you've got to either run the route just to run the route for the love of the game route, or you got to jump with the NHL playoffs starting soon. You got to jump in front of the puck.
I would say it is bigger in hockey and basketball than it is even in football. Like sports in which you can force multiply outside of the quarterback position, which is sort of its own unique animal. I would say it's actually bigger in hockey and basketball than it is even in football. And then I think baseball comes last.
It does.
But I think that there's still some. I don't think you're crazy when you talk about it. When Julio gets going, can it affect everybody else? Yes, of course it does, because it puts them in better positions to hit. It puts them in better, it puts pressure on the other team.
And he doesn't duck from the emotion of the game.
Right.
Like he plays into that for better or worse.
Well
frankly,
said.
I think sometimes. Those baseball players that live in neutral, like Josh Naylor largely lives in neutral all the time, and just kind of Randy just kind of stays in Randy land. Yeah, okay. You're probably more merit to what Keith is saying. But for those that do play into the passion, the fandom, the emotion of the game, as Julio does, I think it can have his electricity can feed into not just the people in the building, but I think his teammates in the club.
Yeah, Julio had a good weekend, man. I think there's a reason we both kind of went to him as the person who had and certainly you did, as the person who had the best weekend, because the emotion, you're right. And then what he had to say about, not worrying about a lot of the hitting challenges they had in the first couple of weeks, and then just going out and having fun and being himself. It was great. The other thing I got from Keith was, and we've talked a lot about this, but it is so important to me to keep coming back to the seminal moment in Mariner history. I think if and when this team ends up winning a World Series, don't know that they will, but one of the great seminal moments in team history will be the start of the rebuild. We'll go back and talk about it.
That
the
yellow
step
legal
back,
pad, I wonder if Mr. Stanton kept that.
The step back, the rebuild, the whatever it is you want to call it, I know that we've said this a million times, but people love the Mariners have been rebuilding for 50 years joke. And it's like, no, they had a lot of problems during those years. They've done a lot of things wrong, but actually I think more often the problem was that they wouldn't rebuild. They kept thinking they were closer than they really were. They were deluding themselves. Mm-hmm. And finally at that time they said, let's stop deluding ourselves. Let's get this right. Let's rebuild it. Let's stock the farm system. Let's give ourselves an opportunity to be great, both in the minors and the majors at the same time. And we asked Keith about that unique accomplishment.
It's the only way you get to do that. And we've seen the Brewers now operating on lower budget, lower payrolls, keep it rolling because they get guys, Peralta the year from free agency. Okay, flip him for the next team. They got two guys who are going to help them this year. Are going to probably contribute significantly this year, who are younger and who are surplus for the Mets. And I think the Mariners, they're not under those same restrictions, but they can keep things rolling like that by maybe keeping some players and deciding, okay, this other guy, J.P. Crawford's approaching free agency, we're going to flip him. You decide, these are the core guys we're going to keep, we're going to sign long-term. These are the non-core guys who aren't as important or who we can't sign long-term. Maybe you flip a guy like that as he gets to a year from free agency to restock. And by continuing to draft so well, they are one of the best drafting teams in baseball since Scott Hunter took over. I think by continuing to do that, they allow themselves more options, more possibilities.
It's a lifeblood. It's the lifeblood in college football. You got to, whether it's the portal or it's the high school acquisition, it's the lifeblood in the NFL. The NFL draft in 9-10 days from now, it is the lifeblood in baseball, as it turns out. For organizations that don't spend $400 million on a payroll, right? You've got to draft well. It's been unfortunately the killer to the hockey team in town that we've referenced a bunch. That unfortunately their drafts and the players in them or what have you, like it has not allowed them, Salk, to take the next step and to compete for it all. Whereas the baseball team and the football team and the Husky football team, even under Chris Peterson and it's Kalen DeBoer, right? It was the portal with certainly Mr. Penix, but it was also Roma Dunze and Jalen McMillan and so many, and Roger Rosengarten and Troy Fautanu and all those guys that they hit on right in the recruiting period, right? That acquisition, man. That is the lifeblood of organizations. And now that the Mariners have it at the minor league level, Keith Law's #1 farm system, they've got it at the major league level with guys that they have now retained and they're young core players. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like talking about winners.
Well, and is why I keep talking about the whole draft, develop, trade, and retain thing, right? Like, you don't need to be the Rays or the Brewers. You don't need to cycle through, and as soon as those guys,
Dodgers.
Yep, you're not going to get to do that. So you got to build something in between, and they seem to be going more down the Braves route of just saying, no, we're going to draft, develop, and trade, and then retain the players that we think are a great long-term success. If you missed the interview with Keith, go find it on our YouTube page or our website or the Seattle Sports app. I will also say this today, Brock. I mentioned this earlier before you jumped on.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing the show 17 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been right a couple times about things. I've probably been wrong many more times than I've been right. But in those 17 years, I have never been more right about anything, and I mean anything, than I was about the Steelhead uniforms. They're unbelievable. They are A-plus
Did they add
unbelievable.
a little more sauce to them? Is that stripe new down the pants?
No, that's all the same. They added the socks. And you saw Logan with the pants pulled up and the high socks.
A little more drip to it.
I don't think so. I think that's the same thing they've been wearing.
The socks?
Yeah, I think it was just the socks.
Oh, they look good.
Don't they look amazing?
They
They're
do look
so good. And I would love to see them add a black and gray version. Like, give me a black and a gray, and let's just make them the full-time uniforms. Like, enough. No more teal. You don't need the blue. You don't need the white. Like, let's just go with these uniforms full-time and just make that the Mariners uniforms. You already see how great they are.
Well,
by the way, they're 2-0 wearing them this year. Let's go. Let's just do this full-time.
What if you had somehow in some way to bring back the Sunday cream? Because those were really sweet, too.
Those are good. Make that your alternate jersey. But these should be your regular jersey. Repeal the teal, remove it forever and ever, and let's never see it. Send it to the sun, and just continue to wear these jerseys because they look unbelievable. Wow, text from a former big leaguer. Baseball is an individual sport, but absolutely individual performance affects guys around them. Yeah, of course. I think that's true.
But Keith lives in a silo of and it's awesome, and it's great, and you need all those different voices, right? I mean, he is a data guy, marquee data guy. He lives in that silo of scouting and stats and numbers and evaluating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prospects, and just tries to probably largely eliminate any of the emotion behind things. And he's got a fun communication style. I always enjoy talking to that guy.
He is fun, man.
He is.
There's nothing quite. I mean, like he will drop a couple things on you. Years ago, it was the Dustin Ackley one. Like, hey, he might win you a batting title, but he's not going to be any good. And you're like, okay, well, we gotta take a batting title if you could get one.
With you and Keith and Passon with a couple glasses of scotch or whiskey. How obnoxious would that be?
Pretty obnoxious, I'm going to guess. I mean, I like the Kate Anderson is coming off pitching 5 innings. No hits, 11 strikeouts.
Kate Anderson does not look very good right now. His velocity has been down. I don't know the full explanation for that. He is, at the very least, not throwing as hard as he did.
It's so good. And he went on to say, and he knew about it, by the way. It's not like Keith was unaware. He's like, now, look, his results have been great. First 2 starts have been awesome. It's just, and by the way, he doesn't look very good right now. Might be a couple weeks old too. I mean, like he's covering to give the guy a little extra credit. He's covering a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
He's on the road. He's going from here to there. And there was a little while, I think, where there were some questions about Cade and his health and all that. But it is just, he does have a unique style to him. It's one of the reasons I love him. All right. Day baseball today. You ready?
Day baseball, Jeff Passan tomorrow, DJ, the draft in 9 days. This is fun. Speaking of good times, as the season gets going here and we learn more and more. Go sweep away the Astros today.
That would be a nice way to end this thing,
Don't be trapped by the Vetter Cup. Don't be trapped by what's coming. Take care of business today.
Lyle, are you going to be able to get to sleep heading into the Vetter Cup?
I'd really love for you to sing.
They don't get a day off before the Vetter Cup? I thought maybe they'd get tomorrow off.
No,
so they're going to travel and then play the biggest series of the year?
Yes.
That doesn't seem right.
No.
Good thing they got that day game today. A little getaway, get down to San Diego, Vetter this thing up.
Better just plan the parade.
There's nothing better than this cup. Wow.
Whoa.
Plan the parade.
Are we going to go?
We do. Bump and Stacey, you're there at T-Mobile.
They'll be up next. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Till then, the hay
is in the barn.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!